Love it live.
Welcome to Sacramento and this madhouse known as Arco Arena. It's the dream matchup. The Sacramento Kings, their best record in the NBA, against the two-time defending champion LA Lakers. Western Conference Final, Game 1, best of 7. Let's get our starting lineups and send it to PA announcer Ira Smith.
And now let's meet both teams. First, the starting lineup for the visiting Los Angeles Lakers. At forward, 6'7" from North Carolina, number 17, Rick Fox. At forward, 6'10" from Alabama, number 5, Robert Horry. At center, 7'1" from Louisiana State, number 34, Shaquille O'Neal. 6'7" from Lower Merion High School, number 8, Kobe Bryant. At guard, 6'1" from Arkansas Little Rock, number 2, Derek Fisher. The head coach of the Lakers is Phil Jackson.
Have waited a full year for this series. They appear certainly ready. We'll find out if the Kings are ready. And hello, everyone. Along with Steve Stafford-Jones and Bill Walton, I'm Mike Breen. Lewis Johnson will join us shortly. Of course, the Lakers have been dominant over the past couple of years, but the Kings appear to have narrowed the gap. The question is, Bill, have they narrowed the gap enough to dethrone the champs?
Absolutely not, Mike, because the Lakers, they have the best coach. They have the two best and most dominating players in Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe Bryant. Shaq's numbers are down due to injury, but he's doing what's necessary. Kobe has become the most skilled player in the league since the days of Michael Jordan. He continues to amaze us on a day-by-day basis. Sacramento is a very good team. They're a lot of fun, certainly, but LA, they simply have too much.
Now, there are those who disagree with you, and there are many. But part of the reason, Steve Jones, is because they're a better team than last year. They have the home court and maybe truly believe for the first time they can win a 7-game series. But is that all enough?
Oh, that's plenty. Home court advantage, and they have a high-octane offense which will attack the Lakers. And if they do that, and they're spearheaded by Weber, whose numbers came up from the Utah series and the Dallas series, it's got to be around 30 points a game. But the key, according to Rick Adelman, is going to be the play of Michael Bibby. If Bibby plays as well as he did and better, look for new champs in the West.
And right now, let's send it over to Lewis Johnson.
Okay, Mike, thanks a lot. Well, the all-important medical update on Shaquille O'Neal. I talked to the Lakers trainer, Gary Vitti, before the game, and we talked about the top 3 concerns they had for Shaq. Number 1, the arthritic toe. Well, it's just that, a big toe that hurts. They're managing that with a carbon fiber orthotic to help it keep in place. Number 2 are both the ankles. The right ankle is okay. The left ankle is still sore. Both of them are heavily taped to keep the support there for him. And finally, Shaq's right index finger is much better. Of course, he took the stitches out before he was supposed to earlier in the week, but they're much better, and he is expecting to have a lot of touch on the ball. Lastly, Mike, the noise level. Before they announced the Sacramento Kings, the decibel meter hit 118. We're expecting to be awfully loud in here today. Mike?
Lewis, thank you. Of course, O'Neal and how healthy he is, and can the Kings win without Peja Stojakovic, who's out at least the first 2 games and maybe more. Christian Bryant. Fisher, that's a 2-pointer. Quickly lost it, picked up by Doug Christie.
Phil Jackson said the key for the Lakers, control the tempo, transition defense, get on the offensive boards, and defend the screen and roll.
Weber, nice feed. D-Box from point-blank range, can't connect.
They got to have that one, Mike. Those are the kinds of plays that are going to keep the Lakers defense at bay.
O'Neal with the easy bucket. Of course, this is the 3rd straight year these teams have been in the postseason, including last year in the 2nd round, a 4-game sweep. A very disappointing series for the Kings as Christie misfires and Robert Horry the board.
Laker defense so good. Best in the league during the regular season. They have tightened it down even more. It's impossible to score against Los Angeles.
And Derek Fisher knocks it down. Lakers have been superb on the road so far in the postseason, 3-0.
Remember the last time the Lakers and the Kings played here, the Kings got off to a terrific start. Weber led the way. He had 14 first-quarter points. They haven't gotten a bucket yet, so they're going to have to work their way out of an early hole.
Robert Horry, meanwhile, steps out of bounds.
Problem for Sacramento. Vlade misses the first layup. Doug Christie misses a long 3, and Weber staying on the perimeter. The crowd is out of the game already. They're trying, they're salivating. It's such an incredible, intense atmosphere here, but you've got to give them something to satiate their thirst.
They're 0 for 3 to start, whereas the Lakers have hit 2 of their first 3. Of course, without Stojakovic, Hedo Turkoglu with a huge roll. Here's Mike Bibby, and Bibby knocks it down. He has been their most consistent performer so far in the playoffs. He's been amazing.
This is going to be a tough cover for Fisher and Lindsey Hunter. And if this guy is as aggressive as he was against Dallas, big numbers and big things will happen for Sacramento.
Phil Jackson told us that he expects Kobe Bryant to get significant minutes against Bibby.
Bryant knocks down his jumper. Now, Bryant has been huge, obviously, in the 4th quarters, but Phil Jackson told us yesterday he wants Bryant to be more involved looking for a shot early in the game. Bibby has it stripped, but a reach-in foul. And the foul will go against Shaquille O'Neal, his first.
Kobe Bryant, so special, so determined, so focused and concentrated, comes off that screen and roll. The Lakers offense looks very sharp. They know how good this Sacramento team is. This might be the one team in the league that the Lakers really respect.
Weber backing in, Horry backs up, and Weber with the easy 2.
That'll give you a lot of respect. You know, the big concern for Rick Adelman has been Weber has been in foul trouble in every series. He's got to keep him out on the floor, and he wants him to play inside.
Fox hits the 3 and then turns and has something for the crowd. And a 5-point Laker lead off to a terrific start. 4 of 5 from the field. Turkoglu and a foul. Fox, it's going to go against Rick Fox. And a little extra pushing and shoving and talking.
Christie said, man, I'm not taking it. Not today. So don't do that. So this is not only going to be a war of words, but it's going to be a battle physically for both clubs.
Come back to Weber right here. Let him go to the work. Get to the hoop, hopefully to the foul line if you're Sacramento.
Single coverage now. Fisher can't get the help. Weber misses it from close range. Key for Sacramento in this series will be keeping their poise, something they have not always done. They pick up technicals, get upset with the refs as O'Neal drops it in. That's going to be an important factor for them.
This series will not be won in the first 5 minutes. This is 7 games in this relentless attack. If you're going to beat them, Sacramento is going to be one of the great upsets in the history of basketball.
Divac spinning. Somehow all time was pivot foot. Wild shot. And Bryant comes in for the rebound.
Even though that's a bad shot from Vlade, you want him to be that aggressive. You want him looking for that shot. Zach was wide open in this one.
Divac fell down. Fox trying to take advantage. Gets it inside. And a 9-point early lead for the Lakers.
Sacramento patiently worked their way back into them. They know the Lakers are playing very, very well right now. They have to find their game, the Kings.
Well, it certainly has been a few weeks since the Kings as Bibby gets inside. Divac on the foul. Kings haven't faced a defense like this in a while, with all due respect to the Dallas Mavericks.
Well, there's no defense like this in the entire NBA. And you got the big anchor in the back in Shaq. You got the fabulous athleticism.
Oh, Bryant. Perfect pass from Rick Fox on a give and go.
Did I say something about this being one of the great teams in NBA history at the time?
It's a superb start for them.
You also said the Kings are going to have to work their way into the game. We got a long way to go, and Bibby and the Kings are going to get back in this ball game.
Imagine how well Bibby would play if he wasn't so nervous in his first playoff year.
Vlade Divac is doing a good job.
And Fisher does a good job. That's a two-pointer.
Vlade is active. He's attacking the hoop. He's handling the ball a lot. If you're ever going to beat Los Angeles and Shaq, you've got to make Shaq guard the ball.
Lakers, meanwhile, they missed their first shot from the field and have made 8 in a row.
What the Kings want to do is get a quick hitting attack, and they really haven't been able to get it where they pass the ball. The first play they had for Vlade Divac was the kind of offense they'd like to have in a half-court set, and the Lakers have taken them out of it, so they've got to work a little bit harder to get back to that kind of quick hitting play.
As good as Sacramento is, you can't run out of the net.
Weber, meanwhile, 1 of 4 to start. Robert Ory. Weber went for the fake. Divac for good quick hands. Bryant, good defense on Christie. Weber spinning inside. Offensive foul. Weber upset with the call. He's got to control himself.
If you're Sacramento, you cannot ever get into it with the refs in this series. This is not going to be about luck or a freak call here or there. That's a good call by the referee. Weber swinging those elbows and catching Ory across the head here.
Well, now this is a typical Shaq play right here. He came in, he didn't swing the elbow, he turned in. Ory's head just happened to be there. Now you will watch Shaq and see if he doesn't get that call to go in his favor.
And now Weber is first. Fox in a little bit of trouble. Bibby with a nice trip. Bryant in pursuit. And Bibby's got 6 points. Lakers pushing it up the floor when they have their chances.
Not the tempo they want, but as long as Shaq is at one end and Akers there, they can play that way.
Rick Fox.
Right now, the Lakers aren't missing, so the Kings got to weather this hot shooting. The Lakers aren't going to be that good from the perimeter the entire game. Bibby fighting his way through.
And a foul called. It's going to go against Derek Fisher. 9 straight makes for the LA Lakers.
Phil Jackson looking on, almost a smile out of Phil, but so focused, so determined prior to the game. And they're going to take a timeout and talk this one over.
So Rick Donovan wants to chat. Phil Jackson says we're underdogs because we start the series on the road. Not so far.
Well, you know what the Lakers have done is shoot a high percentage, and they've gotten their stars off the mark, and these kind of plays give them a great deal of confidence.
The legend was born in 1965 in the storied swamp of Florida, and as befits a legend, it began with a searing question.
Coach asked why we didn't go during the game.
The players weren't adequately hydrated and their performance suffered.
As the Gators marched through the season, they drank a carbohydrate electrolyte beverage created by University of Florida doctors.
Naturally, we called our stuff Gatorade.
In conditions that would make a salamander sweat, the Gators thrived.
Those boys drank that stuff, and they became a second-half team. I saw it with my own 2 eyes.
In 1967, when the Gators won their first Orange Bowl, Gatorade had arrived.
Today, Gatorade is the most researched sports drink in the world.
And it continues to fuel champions wherever they're found. Humbly born on the hard-scrabbled gridirons of Florida, proven by generations of athletes. And just as the games never end, so the legend continues.
Rolling Stone magazine raves. Insomnia is the first film of the summer that should be remembered in the Oscar race. It's taut, tense, and terrific. Insomnia. Rated R. Starts Friday at a theater near you.
How to speak Australian.
Stop! 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 Bring her in!
Humanitarian.
Good.
Beer. Foster's. Australian for beer.
The extremely versatile Chrysler PT Cruiser. There's a lot to love. Exclusively from Chrysler, our 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain pledge, because love is a commitment.
The NBA on NBC is brought to you by Chrysler. Drive equals love. By Adidas Climacool, giving you 360 degrees of ventilation. Feel the breeze. By Foster's Australian Beer. By DuPont, bringing you the miracles of science for 200 years. And by NBA Playoffs 2002. Love it live. First quarter of game 1, 9-point lead for the Lakers. Of course, have won the last 2 NBA championships. Not only have won them, have been absolutely dominant. 10 consecutive playoff series. 23 of the last 25 games, including an NBA record 11 consecutive road playoff games. And that dominance starting on the offensive end here today, Steve.
Yeah, they've been real efficient. 90%. That's what they're cracking at the Kings right now. And the Kings are going to have to weather this hot shooting streak that the Lakers have thrown at them and make sure in the next 6 minutes that they start to tighten things down, put a little doubt in their mind at the offensive end.
The Kings, you can see, they're huffing and puffing. They're so, perhaps maybe a little too hyped up for the first minutes. Weber steps out and knocks it down.
Beautiful execution out of the timeout. Weber and Vlade executing the screen down involving Shaq. He's not going to step out. Weber's got to make that short jumper.
There's no question these are the biggest games of Chris Weber's career. At times he's had some problems in the playoffs. Last year he had the ankle injury. But this year he really needs to play well for them to win. Bryant can't hit. He bots the rebound. It ends the streak at 9 makes in a row. Turkoglu, nice move off the dribble. Won't go down.
Now that's what he's very good at, really being able to go left or right, spin and pull up and shoot the jump shot. So he's got to quiet his nerves as well, find a way to get into it offensively.
Fox. Fisher for 3. Derek Fisher, who has not shot the ball particularly well from that range during the postseason thus far, but has hit so many over the past couple of years.
Lakers are so good. Up till now, they have just played well enough to barely win in the last couple of minutes of every game. They have come out today to make a statement. Just what a terrific team they are.
D-Box goes right at O'Neal. And Robert Horry with the ball.
Vlade has to keep taking that shot. Keep driving it. Eventually, some of them will fall. And then when they do fall, the defense will have to come in to help Shaq because he's always in foul trouble here in Sacramento. And then he'll be able to pick apart guys who are standing on the perimeter wide open.
Well, they go right back to D-Box, like you say. Nice move. And it's exactly what Rick Adelman told us last night. You've got to keep them active at the other end, and they need him to be aggressive.
Vlade is the most capable center in today's game of playing against Shaq successfully.
He's the only center left.
Robert Horry knocks it down.
Vlade is more capable than David Robinson, more capable than Dikembe Mutombo. Nice pass.
That's where Bibby has made such a difference. And Weber with an easy 2.
Well, you see Jackson get up, and what he wants to do is get a timeout, guys. We can't have that tempo, and we cannot end up not guarding people at the other end.
He's got a cushion as his team, 11 of 14, 79% from the field.
Mike Bibby, who continues to amaze on a daily basis, just comes right in, draws the defenders and lays it off. Throw it down, throw it down.
Looking at the beaches, strolling along, minding my own business.
Hi, Rob.
Oh, hey, Miss Larson.
Nice caravan.
Thanks.
I used to have a van.
I can't believe my dad let you drive the Viper.
Yeah, what got into him?
Dodge Caravan, offering a power sliding door, a power rear hatch, and the kind of room you'll really dig. Grab Dodge's 7100 powertrain pledge. Ford, GM, Toyota, and Honda don't match it.
Do I have what, Mom?
I have the greatest mom. Lisa's my only daughter. Seems like she's called me every day for the last 11 years.
When my mom told me about this unlimited plan, it was such a perfect thing for us.
You can talk to anyone who has AT&T long distance at home for as long as you want for $19.95 a month.
There was no thinking about it. She just says, "You're doing it." And I was like, "Oh, okay."
My daughter is a wonderful mother. She just knocks my socks off. You know?
Call 1-800-REACH-OUT.
2 points is 2 points. Don't be a show. I don't care if you slam dunk. I don't care if you shoot a layup. 2 points is 2 points. All you gotta do is take a short shot, box out, rebound. You ain't got to dunk on everybody. Forget about the theatrics. All you getting for that is two. You ain't scored 2 points your whole life. Who you gonna listen to? How about yourself? Obey your thirst. Sprite. Hey, yo, Kobe, you think you're getting some tickets? Courtside? Yeah. Come on.
The Mount Everest of rivers. Take a heart-pounding ride as Chevy Avalanche presents Into the Sangpo Gorge. Next Sunday, 2:30 Eastern, NBC.
Superstars from entertainment and sports herald the world's best athletes. The Laureus World Sports Awards. Next Sunday at 3:30 Eastern on NBC.
We have to attack them. I mean, we have to be able to go at them with a lot of different people. Make them really work defensively to guard us. You know, we know what we have to do defensively. We have our hands full with Kobe and Shaq, but you got to do that if you're going to stay in the game. But I think in the past they've beaten us because they've taken us out of things offensively, and we've got to be sure that we're efficient offensively. Puts a little bit more pressure on them. I mean, we got to be better offensively than say San Antonio was in the series. I mean, San Antonio was good for 3 quarters. We got to be good for 4 quarters.
And Rick Adelman says they need 6 guys to play very well every single game if they have any hopes of winning the series.
Particularly on the offensive end, which is the strength of their team. Bibby and Weber are playing very well. The rest of the squad for Sacramento, just 2 for 7, not good enough.
Bryant, ball lost. Christie picks it up. Inside, nice move from Christie. And that will be key for Sacramento, turning turnovers into points. But the Lakers don't turn it over very often.
Well, the one thing that Sacramento has learned in each series, particularly starting with Utah, they can play a tough physical series, they can weather being behind, and they can find a way to get back in the game.
That was almost a highlight shot. Bibby can't connect. Triple comes flying in, but can't hold on. Ball knocked out of bounds. Laker ball. He had a highlight reel of shots that he's missed.
Did you see Kobe Bryant? He, first of all, tried the most difficult shot imaginable and then had the presence of mind to almost tip it in. Now that's anticipation, that's quickness. What a mind.
He is playing at such a high level right now. Horry inside and foul. Robert Horry blew right past Weber, and he's got a chance for 3-point play.
Now this is where the Kings have to keep their composure. They thought at the last end, Turkoglu gets a rebound, gets knocked off balance, they get no call. Weber comes flying out, doesn't move his feet, and that allows Horry to get inside, and they feel, hey, this guy's almost in there clean. There's no contact, and he's going to go to the line.
Why is Chris Weber reaching on the perimeter against Horry, who doesn't want to shoot from out there?
Robert Horry leads the Lakers 142 career playoff games for course, he's won a couple of titles with LA, a couple with Houston. Bill Jackson calls him a critical time player.
Well, he is a big-time player, and Bill, remember, at the corners where he makes all those threes. That's why the guy was running out.
He doesn't want to take him at this juncture of the game.
A foul is on Divac, his first. Christie throws it away. Second turnover for Sacramento.
That's why you have to run the offense through Shaq's man. Rodney Divac has to handle it all the time.
Bryant, alley-oop. Divac knocked it away. Weber. Christie does a nice job saving it.
They want to swing the ball whenever they can. They don't want to keep it on one side of the floor. So when it starts there, they want to get it back around the other way, which makes the defense move. That time they didn't, and Christie doesn't finish the shot.
Alley-oop. Fisher with a perfect pass to Kobe Bryant. And the Lakers now an 11-point lead.
The execution of the triangle offense. Flawlessly devised by Tex Winter, perfectly executed by this squad.
And another turnover. Kings starting to get very sloppy. 2-on-1 break. And Bryant another easy basket after the feed from Fisher.
Does Adelman call a timeout here? The crowd is stunned. Confidence that we talked about necessary for Sacramento to succeed, waning at this moment. Somebody's got to give them life.
Bibby. O'Neal comes out, and Bibby puts it in.
They just have to have one guy that can keep them close so they can get steady. And it looks like that guy's going to be Bibby because he is the best stick on the perimeter for them. He can get his shot against Fisher anytime he wants.
Bibby admitted he's playing the best ball of his season right now. Fox rushed that one, and Christie with a rebound.
Roddy and Weber have to run. They have to push the tempo. Try over the course of hopefully 7 games to wear Shaq down just a bit.
Weber steps out, and that's such an important shot for him to hit.
When he knocks that down, that gives him the necessary confidence. Weber's not a guy who can jump well in traffic.
Weber, after starting off 1 of 4, has hit his last 3 shots from the field. Sacramento down by 9. Chance of defense, which is not a joke here, Rocco, because the Kings are a much improved defensive team. O'Neal misses, and Weber the rebound.
If you're the Sacramento Kings, you'd like to end this quarter 5 points down if you possibly could. So they need a score with this possession.
2 for 1 time right here.
Bibby off the mark. Weber the offensive rebound.
Still can get it if you go right now.
Some wild passing. Christie can't hit. It's just not hitting from the perimeter right now.
Well, you got to remember who can make and who can't make. Christie is streaky from the perimeter. He's trying to find that source.
Horry, all the time in the world. No one even close to him.
Was that an outside shot?
Horry is a reluctant shooter. He'll put it up when the game is in doubt.
There's about a 2.5-second difference between the shot and game clock. A superb start for the Lakers here on the road. Bibby lost it. Bryant has plenty of time. And the Lakers continue to dominate.
And Phil Jackson right up off the bench saying we have a foul to give.
Yells it out. Almost another turnover. Weber does not get it off in time. Shot does not count. And that ends the first quarter. Spectacular shooting for Kobe Bryant and the LA Lakers. 67% from the field. And Kobe Bryant leading the way with 10.
Mike Bibby can't handle it on the pick and roll. He tried to go away from it. The dribble just came away from him, and Kobe Bryant. Who else can finish like that?
And turnovers hurting the Sacramento Kings. 5 here in the first quarter. 14-point LA lead after 1.
Oh, credit card bill. Those interest rates. Just get a Capital One no hassle card. Lowest fixed rates you can get. So who's getting rich off my credit card?
Someone living large off your interest payments? Get a Capital One no hassle card. It's got the nation's lowest long-term fixed rates and none of the hassle.
What's in your wallet?
If you can unlock the secrets of nature, you can find miracles. At DuPont, we've been finding them for 200 years now. Miracles that have taken us from here to there, from this to that, and from where we are to a better, brighter world. DuPont, the miracles of science.
how to speak Australian. MVP. Beer. Foster's, Australian for beer.
A lot can be said about the fact we only use 100% pure beef in our burgers. Usually, a mouthful.
Yeah, nice day.
Take a left. Dodge Ram. The only truck with 4 full-size doors and a full-size bed. Plus, the handling of rack and pinion steering.
And I hope no one was behind us.
Grab Dodge's 7/100 powertrain pledge. Ford, GM, and Toyota don't match it.
Jennifer Capriati. At last year's French Open, her stunning comeback continued as she won her second straight Grand Slam. Will she be the toast of Paris again? The French Open, starting June 1st.
Second quarter set to begin in Arco Arena. I would say 36 points is not a bad opening.
That's a tremendous opening for the Lakers. You take a look at the shots, and Kobe's taken more than everybody else, but everybody else has only missed one. So the Lakers clicking along better than they've had in any other quarter in the playoffs so far.
But the balance, the discipline, the concentration, you can see how important this is. There's no messing around whatsoever. These guys are coming out so determined to put this hammer down and keep this raucous crowd back in their seats where they have been since the opening moments of this game.
Most points they've scored in the quarter so far in the postseason. Here in 2002, Bobby Jackson off the bench along with Scott Pollard. Weber, Ori goes for the fake. Weber can't finish, and Ori the rebound. Samaki Walker's come in for LA with Lindsey Hunter.
Those plays are what's hurting them. Devon's inside, and they're thinking about foul rather than finish. And Weber that time flipped that one and missed a golden opportunity.
Weber is not a strong finisher in traffic.
Hunter way off the mark, an air ball, and Sacramento will get it back.
And until Weber learns how to explode in the crowd, it's just not going to work. And that's an offensive foul and a mental breakdown by Chris Weber.
And that's 2 fouls on Weber, and this has been the concern for Rick Adelman. Getting in early foul trouble. He needs him out on the floor. There's no Shaq out there right now.
Well, Steve, why would he do that? Lindsey Hunter has no idea there's even a screen there. All he has to do is just stand there and absorb the contact.
And you can look just by his face there. He's letting it affect him right now. And that's going to be crucial as he stays in the game with the 2 fouls. Bryant misses. Weber the rebound.
Bobby Jackson critical here. He and Scott Pollard have got to make a contribution. That's what bench players are for.
And Turkoglu has to pick up on the offensive end. Misses that 3. Turkoglu scoreless thus far. He's got the ability to put up some big numbers offensively.
Well, with this lineup, Kobe Bryant is going to look to take more shots. He took 9 in that first quarter. He's already come out with a couple. Shaq is on the bench, and this is a good chance for Sacramento if they move the ball, move themselves to get back in the game.
Turkoglu drives it, lost it again. Very sloppy ball handling for the Kings. 7 turnovers.
But more importantly, the Lakers are playing great.
Hunter wide open for 3. And Weber the rebound.
But to have the anticipated matchup, both teams have to play great. Sacramento has not delivered today.
Jackson known for his defense, but certainly provided some superb offensive moments, especially in the series against the Mavericks.
15 in that fourth quarter in game 4 down there. Huge game. So he's capable of giving them an offensive punch and maybe almost a steal.
Hunter looks over the shot clock. Hunter gets inside, gets it back to Samaki Walker. Walker just gets it off in time and comes up short. Chris Walker created some controversy by saying he watched the playoffs last year, thought the Kings quit after losing the first 2 games. Chris Webber came back and said, how about you and the San Antonio Spurs against the Lakers?
You know we've reached the nadir when Samaki Walker starts talking trash.
Pollard inside, block, gets it back. Second effort for Pollard, and they need his toughness down low.
And Scott Pollard is a terrific player. He's a very skilled player. Sometimes he gets very caught up, though, in the morass of trying to be too physical, which is not necessary. This is a game of skill right here.
He plays his role very well. And the Lakers turn it over for the 5th time.
Look at the difference between the championship poise and confidence of the Lakers, who have not argued a single call. Granted, they've got a 12-point lead. They've been comfortably in front all along. But they are not complaining. They are not whining or making excuses. They've come to play a full 48.
Well, in the first 2 rounds of the playoffs, Sacramento accumulated 15 technical fouls. The Lakers only 5.
I can't believe you said if you've got the lead and every shot's going in, you have no reason to complain.
Oh, Bobby Jackson and 1. Jackson providing a spark off the bench. And Sacramento pulled within 10. Devin George, his first.
Well, remember, this is the guy that said, I don't buy into the Nash Van Exel thing. We got some players ourselves showing it that he's going to come at the Lakers, and that's the way you attack them. So if Bobby Jackson stays at this level, good chance they'll be back in it by the break.
A 6-0 run for the Kings.
The Celtics, the Nets, tomorrow, 4:30 Eastern, NBC.
I'm just not good with the ladies like you, Cedric.
All right. Try this on her. Hi, I'm Paul. You have beautiful eyes.
Hi, I'm Paul, and you have beautiful eyes.
I'd love to take you out sometime.
Love to take you out sometime.
So how much?
So how much?
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
All right, guys, bring it in. Bring it in. Hey, where's Billy?
He's sick. He's our best player. Yeah, we can't play without him.
Come on, it's gonna be okay.
But for the championship, Coach.
There's gonna be a lot of other games.
Hey, I can play.
Do you know how?
I'm not bad.
He's tall. What do you think? All right, let's go! Hey, if we win, we get to go to McDonald's. So don't play.
5 years ago, they went their separate ways. But on July 3rd,
You're back! Hey, somebody said you were dead. You look good.
they're back. In black.
Thanks for bringing me back. No problem.
Men in black, too.
Not bad. Techno standard? Actually came with a black dude, but he kept getting pulled over.
Rated PG-13 in theaters July 3rd.
Wherever you choose to travel in the totally new 2003 Ford Expedition, and no matter how unfriendly the traffic gets, you will be surrounded by the protection of dual front airbags, plus the only safety canopy system available in a full-size SUV. The totally new 2003 Ford Expedition, because safety should have no boundaries.
The NBA on NBC is brought to you by the totally new 2003 Ford Expedition. No boundaries. By Bud Light. For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light. By McDonald's. We love to see you smile. And by American Express. Make life rewarding.
Well, the Sacramento Kings are missing one of their most important men today, and Peja Stojakovic, who suffered a severely sprained right ankle back in Game 2 in the Dallas series. Well, the latest update from the team physician, Dr. Richard Marner, is that Peja still has swelling, but he's off the crutches and wearing shoes now, walking close to normal. Today, for the first time before the game, Peja jogged for 5 minutes on the treadmill. Yesterday, he was shooting flat-footed. In all, Peja Stojakovic is about 50% improved, and his goal is to be ready for Game 3, which is next Saturday in L.A. And at the moment, doctor says that Peja Stojakovic is on pace to achieve that. Mike?
All right, Lewis. Rick Alleman has really tried to downplay it. Doesn't want to give his team an excuse, but he's an all-star, averaged 21 a game, maybe the best long-range shooter in the league, arguably. That's a huge factor for this team to get him back.
It is a major loss, yes, but Hedo Turkoglu is a very, very good player. I think the equal of Peja Stojakovic. It's a different type of game. The problem is it just eliminates the rotation and depth for Sacramento.
O'Neal misses. That free throw from Bobby Jackson was the first free throw for the Sacramento Kings. Devin George breaks it up as Bibby turns it over.
Well, Gerald Wallace is getting some playoff time, and this is critical that he comes out and at least does not make a lot of mistakes, as he is the guy that's replaced Turkoglu in the rotation.
Shaquille O'Neal misses an easy one. Here comes Jackson off to the races.
Now, this is Sacramento ball here. You got to make Shaq run here. Nice screen by Pollard.
Bibby can't hit the three. He's been so strong from three-point range, and Samaki Walker the rebound.
The tough thing for Sacramento is they've been down big the whole game, and Shaq hasn't had to do anything yet.
O'Neal 6 points. Hunter hits the three. Lindsey Hunter, who's not had a terrific season for the Lakers, but can still defend and hit a three.
And you should have seen him in the clincher against San Antonio. He comes in the second half and just plays beautiful basketball, shut down Tony Parker, and really helped the Lakers win that game.
Jackson. There's Wallace, a 19-year-old rookie from Alabama, and he draws the foul. For the Lakers, their second team foul and first on Hunter.
But back to Lindsey Hunter. This is what great coaches do, like Phil Jackson. They keep guys who rarely play sharp as can be. Brian Shaw and Lindsey Hunter, they have no idea when or if they're even going to get into the game. And these guys, Phil Jackson mentions their name, they come in and right away. Jumpers, defense, ball movement. That's great coaching.
It's been one of the keys for their 2 championships. D-Box. Jackson fakes. Bryant trying to put a hand in. And Bobby Jackson continues to play well off the bench. He's got 7 points in 5 minutes.
Well, Jackson's a man on a mission. He really understands that he's got to help give his team some pop, and he's playing with a great deal of control and confidence. And normally you say, give him that shot. Lakers making everything.
Evan George knocks it down. George getting some good minutes this season. Ball stripped down low. Last touch by Hunter.
Lakers getting very good contributions from Samaki Walker and Devin George here. Sacramento is not playing well, and they're only down 10 to 12 points. If they hit a rhythm, if the Lakers cool off a bit offensively from the perimeter, Sacramento gets right back in this thing.
Jackson, the floater, rushed that one a bit, gets his own rebound, and one. Bobby Jackson exploding here for the Kings.
I guess the people in Dallas would say he's no fluke. If he's getting 10 in the quarter against the Lakers, the 15 he got against them in the fourth can't be that bad, but he did it the same way, getting rebounds when he shouldn't be getting rebounds in amongst the big guys, and he gets fouled, so Jackson keeping them close.
The nice thing that Bobby Jackson gives him is a player who doesn't need an offensive structure or system to score and contribute. He'll just take the ball and go wildly on his own, break the whole play, and give you point productivity.
He's got 9 points to lead the Kings in scoring. Bryant, Wallace, the rookie on him. What do you think he's thinking out there?
He's not thinking. What can you do defensively about that? You pray for the guy to take a shot like that. And he swishes it.
Wallace gets inside. Nice feed. So Wallace comes right back and sets up Christie beautifully.
Sacramento's attacking the hoop. Don't quit here. Don't give up. Just keep your relentless attack. The chance of it turning is right there for you.
They got to have a goal to get this down to, 5-6 points by the break. With the Lakers making everything, and I mean they are making everything right now. You just got to weather the storm.
George hits his second jumper. Devin George puts it back up to a 13-point lead. Bryant, though, setting that up perfectly. Divac inside, draws the foul, and falls down, which is certainly not unusual.
And it looks like he tweaked that ankle a little bit.
Walker, excuse me, Steve. Foul on Walker.
Very strong move to the hoop by Vlade Divac. They need more of that.
Whenever Kobe is attacking like this, all you do is make him take that tough shot. If he makes it, tip your hat to him and make sure that you don't give up something easy. But the Lakers are on the money this afternoon, and it's been tough for the Kings so far.
Kobe Bryant, 14 points and 4 assists. Lakers by 13.
I have something to tell you.
You first.
No, you go.
I'm not ready to get married.
Okay.
So, what was your news?
I won the lottery.
$63 million.
Think about it this way, man. After taxes, that's only like $30 million.
That's it. Yeah.
Life is best told over a great tasting Miller Lite at a place called Miller Time.
Shannon? Hey, it's Steve. What's going on?
Afraid to face your retirement plan? Sun America can help. Just ask your financial advisor. Sun America, the retirement specialist.
Introducing the totally new 2003 Ford Expedition. Now you can achieve maximum inner space within seconds. With exclusive powerful third-row seats.
Whoa.
That fold flat at the touch of a button. The totally new 2003 Ford Expedition. It has no equal. It has no boundaries.
Is your retirement plan under attack? Sun America can help. Just ask your financial advisor. Sun America, the retirement specialist.
Tomorrow at 4:30 Eastern, Jason Kidd and the Nets make their first ever trip to the conference finals. In their path, Paul Pierce, Antoine Walker, and the resurgent Celtics. Back in the conference finals for the first time in 14 years. Their battle begins tomorrow. Plus the NBA Draft Lottery at halftime. Tomorrow, 4:30 Eastern, NBC.
Delivering peak performance on command, Kobe Bryant, who has scored or assisted on 11 of the 21 Laker baskets, has just been simply perfect today. The backdoor cuts, the basis of any offensive attack. Transition, finishing high above the rim. Breaking down defenders, shake and bake. Again, the back cut and playing above the rim. Kobe Bryant in the last 4 games at Sacramento over the last 2 postseasons. 38 points a game. I mean, what more can you ask from this guy? He is the most skilled player in the game today, the most skilled player since Michael Jordan, sitting on the bench right now with a quick rest.
And you see the all-around game from Bryant, who had 48 points in the clincher last year in Game 4. Where's Walton? Log on to NBA.com to find out where Bill will be on Monday. Follow the Where's Walton NBA Playoffs 2002 Love It Live Tour on NBA.com. Don't tell us, we'll be surprised. All right, Divac and the Kings now down by 11, just over 5.5 to play in the second, along with Bill Walton and Steve Snapper Jones and Lewis Johnson, Mike Green on hand. This is just Game 1. Lakers off to a terrific start, have led by as many as 16.
Well, with Shaq in there, you know they're going to come to him now.
Wallace comes in and knocks it away.
Now Adelman finds a weapon off the bench. Seldom used rookie comes high in the air, anticipating you got to put your body in the way and get up there.
O'Neal misses. Christie the rebound and a foul, and it's going to go against Sacramento. Divac has picked up his second, so Divac and Weber each with 2.
They're saying this foul goes against Vlade Divac. Jack goes up.
Good call, right on his elbow. We got to make that call.
The officiating crew, Dick Bavetta, Mike Callahan, and Tom Washington. O'Neal shooting 65% from the line in the playoffs. He's done a good job there, despite having a problem with the finger.
Let's hope that foul wasn't Vlade Divac, because the guy that was guarding him was Scott Pollard.
Now, Vlade was on the other side behind, but you look at the arm. Vlade clearly hit Shaq right on the elbow, causing the air ball.
Concentration from O'Neal at that time, and Divac with the rebound.
But he's still trying to shake off that twisted ankle there. We can only hope that's okay. He is absolutely critical to the Kings' chances.
A slight limp as he comes down the floor, and then he's double teamed.
But again, 5 minutes to go in the first half. They want to make sure that they get a good shot. They got to move the ball to move people, and when it stops, that's when the Laker defense is going to stiffen on them. So they got to move it quicker.
You see Brian Shaw in the game. Both teams going to their bench early. O'Neal against Pollard, knocked away. Good hands from Pollard. Here comes Wallace. Gets inside, draws the foul. And Gerald Wallace, the 3rd youngest player in the NBA this season, is having an impact for the Sacramento Kings.
He's doing everything right. He's got the athleticism that he can play at this level, but Pollard able to reach down. Looked like he got a bunch of wrist there on Shaq. When you're getting stripped down low, you're not leading with your elbow enough. But Gerald Wallace, realizing that Devin George is doing nothing but backing up. The foul, if there was one, was down below. The tangling up of the legs, Wallace and George.
Wallace. When there's a collision on one end, there's a foul. When there's a collision on the other, there's no foul, if there was one.
Wallace, meanwhile, their first-round pick this past year as George sits down with the 3 fouls. His 2 highlights this year was he finished second in the slam dunk and then got the chicken pox a couple of weeks after. Bibby back in the game. Actually, Bibby's going to wait for the next whistle.
They really believe that Gerald Wallace can become a terrific star in this league. He's got the athleticism. Have to see if he's got the work ethic and the skills outside shooting range in particular.
Shaw for 3. And Divac, nice job boxing out.
They haven't given the Lakers a lot of second chances, but the Lakers have been so good on the first that that's one of the reasons they have this big lead.
Bobby Jackson. Just getting that shot off was an accomplishment. As O'Neal got a piece of it. Fisher. Fox steps back. And good transition defense from the Kings.
And wonderful patience by Los Angeles.
Divac again boxing out. Jackson and Fisher. Excellent hustle from Derek Fisher. And then a reach-in foul on Bobby Jackson.
If you're Sacramento, stay off the refs here. You got Weber with 2 fouls, Vlade with 2 fouls. Yes, the game is getting rough here. The referees are letting it go a little bit. We had to play with the championship poise. Kings, and particularly Weber, running away from the ball at that point. That won't get it done.
Jackson's first foul. Wallace sits down, and Bibby back in.
2 team fouls against the Kings.
Robert Horry for 3. And Horry off to a good start. 11 points for Horry. He's 4 of 5 from the field, including both from downtown.
Got to finish that.
Gets another chance. And on the third opportunity, puts it in.
But Steve, Chris Weber is not an explosive low-post player. He doesn't have the drop step to deliver his jump hook, does not jump well in traffic, does not explode when somebody's right next to him. He's got a lot of work to do in the offseason.
I like the way, though, he's handled the 2 fouls early, stayed in the game. He's got 10 points, 9 rebounds. He's not shooting well, but he's hanging in there right now. O'Neal, quick spin on Divac, who has to back up in a travel. Who's the first guy that did that backed off? And a lot of guys have done it recently.
Rick Mahorn was very good at it. Vlade loses it initially. Fortunately, gets out of the way. The referee right on top of it. The easy play to call.
11-point Laker lead as we come up on 3 minutes remaining in the first half. It's been an uphill climb for Sacramento after the bad start. Shot clock winding down. Bibby has to put it up.
We talked about the Laker defense. So solid, so dug in, so fundamentally sound.
Horry, another 3. And Divac's the board. Kings just aren't used to having this many shots contested. Jackson off the ball.
I don't know if it's the contested shots, but it's when they're taking the shots. This is an outside shooting team, and the Lakers are making all their shots. I mean, there's a difference right now. One team is making, the other is missing.
Lakers are getting better shots.
And they're shooting at a 56% rate. Weber goes right at Monador, and that's what he needs to do. More attacking toward the goal. Horry thought he fouled him.
Well, Jackson wants a timeout. Fox doesn't see him.
Divac deflects it out of bounds. Still Laker ball. And Phil Jackson will get his timeout.
Chris Weber, who struggled down low trying to finish, gets the ball. Horry has good position, just standing there. This is the Shaquille O'Neal, use your shoulder as a battering ram. Lets it go. Nice delivery and finish by Chris Weber.
12 points, 9 boards for Weber, but the Kings still down by 11.
Kathy, I can't make it tonight.
Tell her who you work for.
I work for the CIA.
That is so lame.
From the best-selling thriller by Tom Clancy.
A neo-fascist bought an A-bomb on the black market.
Cut him off! Ben Affleck.
I think it might be the Russians.
It wasn't the Russians.
Morgan Freeman.
It adds up. You just don't like what it adds up to.
The bomb is in play.
The Sum of All Fears, directed by Phil Robinson. Rated PG-13. Starts Friday, May 31st.
Greg, this one you gotta see.
Oh.
That's Leslie's first bath. Look at that little tushy.
That's her little tushy, all right. That cute little tushy that belongs to such an attractive, beautiful woman. Because it's grown up into something else. Nice, big, round tushy. You know, have you seen it? Have you seen it lately? You know. Is dinner coming soon, or is it?
Oh, what a tribe of wanderers we are. In us, there is wanderlust. But so too is there a voice. And it says, let us go see what's out there. But let us go with style, with grace. In this life of 1,000 horizons, there are those who travel and those who travel well.
Who is a man that can jam over any man? Can you dig it? Who's the cat that wants sourdough, bacon, and all that? I'm talking about Shack Pack. The new Shack Pack. Grilled sourdough bacon cheeseburger, crispy fries with free warm cheddar cheese dipping sauce, and a Coca-Cola Classic. You gotta have a Shack Pack, baby.
Ahmad Rashad in New York coming up on Verizon Wireless at the half. We'll look ahead to the Eastern Conference Finals, which begin tomorrow between the New Jersey Nets and the Boston Celtics. And we'll get Tom's thoughts on the first half between the Kings and the Lakers.
I think the Kings are all right now. The one thing about the Lakers, they're doing a tremendous job of transition defense. They're getting back and stopping the break. But if the Kings are saying, look, are these guys going to continue to hit shots? Fisher, George, Ori, all these guys, just keep pressing, keep pushing. I think they'll be okay.
Well, Ori is reluctantly taking three-pointers
and reluctantly hit 2 of them.
That's right. Now back to Mike, Bill, and Steve in Sacramento.
Thanks, guys. 11-point lead for the Lakers. Sacramento playing uphill, playing catch-up all game. Of course, it's been quite a turnaround for the Sacramento Kings. The Maloof family have really re-energized this franchise. A lot of moves since they took over to keep them competitive, to get them closer to a championship. As you see, one move after another to help build this team that had the best record in the NBA this year. And more importantly, they gave their basketball people what they needed to succeed. And you need a man to institute all that and get it going, and that's been Jeff Petrie. Petrie is the president of basketball operations, a terrific player himself who's done just a magnificent job building. One of his great stories, when he was playing back in '73, he poured in 51 points against Mike Newland. Newland said after the game, he'll never do that on me again. 2 weeks later, they played Houston at 51 again. So he backs up what he says. And he's been accomplished as both a player and now in the front office.
What he's done here has been maybe the most remarkable success story in the NBA in years. I played with Jeff, and he was a terrific offensive machine there.
Weber gets inside and banks it in.
But I didn't like the look on Jeff's face there. I see a little bit of apprehension. I see a little bit of nervousness. This is when the guys at the top have to breathe life into the entire squad.
He doesn't play anymore. That's why he's apprehensive. There's nothing he can do. He can't go out and lace 51.
Yeah, but it's his demeanor, as it is with the coach. And this is where Phil Jackson is the best at relaxing guys and letting them do their thing.
Inside, Christie trying to force it, blocked by Bryant.
Well, they had a quick-hitting play, but Christie was in the wrong position to try to finish it.
And a ball deflected, still going to be Laker ball. Fisher tried to force it in there, but one of the Kings got a piece of it, and LA will take it out. 1:06 remaining in the first half. Phil Jackson's team still shooting well, 56%.
The Kings have to take the same approach that the Lakers do. A 10, 11, 12-point lead is nothing. They can overcome it. They got 25 minutes counting the final one here to do it.
O'Neal. He's been relatively quiet, 9 points on 4 of 8 from the field.
What an isolation play, though. They come to Shaq, clear everybody out. He gives the jab step to the baseline, fake one way, come back into the middle and get in the air. No stopping that.
Fox has done a good job on Turkoglu, who's trying to get the ball. Fox, of course, plays Stojakovic so well. Turkoglu now 0 for 3, still scoreless.
And, you know, he might be given to a case of nerves and the bigness of the moment. He's a better shooter than that, and he can't give up on himself. Christie, the foul.
Kings had a foul to give as Christie picks up his first.
The execution of the triangle offense. Shaq along that baseline. In slow motion there, it almost looked like a traveling violation to get the move underway. But Shaq so fluid, such good footwork there. And with that much room on the court, nobody can slow him down.
Tough shot from Bryant. Weber with the rebound. Weber has 10 boards here in the first half.
One of the real problems for Sacramento is they've gotten next to nothing out of Doug Christie and Hedo Turkoglu. You got two starters that are giving you zilch. That makes it very tough to play against a great team like the Lakers.
Turkoglu is not next to nothing. It's nothing. 0 points. Shot clock winding down. Bibby.
He must have a rebound.
All right, he's got one. Final seconds here of the first half. Fisher goes right out, blocked by Turkoglu. There's a contribution. Well, that will end the first half. Turkoglu scoreless. Shaquille O'Neal, meanwhile, with 9 points in the first half. Vlade Divac, a couple of fouls. The Kings got themselves down by 16 early, trying to claw their way back. But the Lakers continue to shoot the ball extremely well. 54% from the field, and they lead by 13. Let's go to Lewis Johnson.
All right, thanks a lot, Mike. Kobe, how important was it for you to jump on this crowd and get this building settled down early in the game?
You know, it's important, but we don't put too much emphasis on it. You know, we just want to come out and execute our offense, and see what happens.
What concerns you the most about the second half? Maybe a letdown by you or possibly an explosion by the Kings. Either one of those?
Well, we know they can get hot at any second, so it's important to value every possession, get good shots, and try to take care of the basketball.
And this game one, can you speak to the value of and the importance of winning this game one in this best of 7 here in Sacramento?
Well, it's not only this series, any series. Game one is all we know. We don't look ahead. You know, all we know is the second half coming up, and we'll just play it through.
Okay, Kobe, thanks a lot. Mike, back to you.
And good ball movement from the Lakers. 16 assists in that first half. They came out of the gate strong. 36 points in the first quarter, slowed down a little bit in the second, but still in command right now. A 13-point lead at halftime here in game one. Stay tuned for Ahmad Rashad and Tom Tolbert on Verizon Wireless at the half. Halftime in Sacramento. You're watching the NBA playoffs on NBC.
The all-new 2003 Lincoln Navigator. There are those who travel and those who travel well.
You're not the best planner.
Oh, honey, you know how I feel about you and the boys.
I understand. You'll do the best you can. He's your most important client.
I have to take this call. It's Alan.
Love you. Talk to you later.
American Express, the Lion King is a gold card event. I have 4 tickets, front and center.
How did you pull this one off?
Planning.
How hot are Old Navy summer shorts? To find out, we tested them on the sun. They're scientifically engineered for the whole thermonuclear family. Fun in the sun? Oh no, my friend. Fun on the sun. Old Navy summer shorts are guaranteed to keep you cool at sizzling hot prices. Just $5.50 to $24.50 for the whole family. Only at Old Navy. Is it hot up here or is it just me?
How'd you find this place? Yahoo? Wait. What? How did you learn how to talk? Yahoo.
NBC Sunday, The Cosby Show special is here, and the critics are united.
I can't breathe.
They say it ranks as the best, so funny and sweet, you wind up wishing it were longer. USA Today gives it 3.5 stars, and TV Guide calls it a 10 out of 10. The Cosby Show, a look back. NBC Sunday, 9/8 Central.
It is halftime at Arco Arena, where the Lakers lead the Kings by 13 in Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals. Coming up next for most of you, an extended break for your local news. Then we'll be back with Verizon Wireless at the half as we take a look at the first half in Sacramento and preview the Eastern Conference Finals. But first, these messages from your local station.
NBC Monday starts with a Fear Factor Tournament of Champions finale. 9 former winners remain. 3 insane challenges. 1 ultimate champion. The best of the best face the worst of the worst. Then, for 20 years, NBC Thursday has been must-see TV. Now see it all in one night. As your favorite stars look back at 20 years of must-see TV.
I'm gonna blank in my shorts.
Fear Factor Tournament of Champions and 20 years must-see TV special. NBC Monday.
That's why Chevy's making it as simple as 1, 2, 3. Get either 1,000 or 2,000 or 3,000 cash back on every new 2002 Chevy SUV, or choose 1.9, 2.9, or 3.9% financing. So make it easy on yourself. Get to your Southern Nevada Chevy dealer.
I gotta lose me to find you. I gotta give them all I have. To find you, I'd suffer anything and be glad. I call that a bargain, the best I ever had.
The Nissan Frontier Crew Cab Long Bed. No matter how you look at it, it's the next frontier. It's time you had the best. Nissan, driven by Southern Nevada.
Whether it's a night on the town with friends or just soaking in the warm sun, nothing fits life in Nevada like a Ford Focus. And nothing's better than leasing a 2002 Focus for $199 a month. That's $199 a month for 48 months on a 2002 Ford Focus. Plus a no-charge 100,000-mile powertrain protection. See your Southern Nevada Ford store today.
Weather where you live with News 3's Dr. Jim Siebert. This is Verizon Wireless at the half. Verizon Wireless, we never stop working for you.
I'm Ahmad Rashad and Tom Tolbert back in our New York studio with Verizon Wireless at the half. Now, while the Kings and Lakers battle in the West, the Nets and Celtics are getting ready to begin the Eastern Conference Finals. We'll have Game 1 tomorrow with the tip-off at 5:45 Eastern. And you know what? The Nets are still playing for some respect.
Isn't it funny? They're the #1 seed in the East. I mean, this is a #1 seed in the East. And what did you hear? Charlotte. Boy, what a great team. They're deep, and they can get them. And even without Jamal Mashburn. Hey, they had to play without Jamal Mashburn for a lot of the season this year. Now it's the Celtics. The Celtics. You can go back to Indiana. Indiana can beat this team. They can. It's so funny. This is the #1 team. They had the most wins in the Eastern Conference. They're a good basketball team. They just don't have that one guy that gets you 25, 30 points a game like some of the other teams do. Jason Kidd is their guy, but he mixes it around. Keith Van Horn's been hitting big three-pointers. Kenyon Martin's getting to the hole. Richard Jefferson, Collins are coming off the bench and giving them support. They just have guys. Lucius Harris has a monster game in the playoffs. I think this is a good team, and it really is. You look at the #1 seed, and by the way people are talking about this team, what, #7 seed, 6 seed maybe? It just doesn't seem right.
And on the other hand, the Boston Celtics, here's a team that sort of snuck into the playoffs. Yeah. Nobody said anything about them, but each round they've gotten better and better.
And Walker and Pierce have just gone bananas. I mean, these guys have played extremely well throughout the playoffs, and they have 2 guys that can get you points outside, get you points inside, and they know where they're going at the end of the game. It's not a question of, do we go to Antoine Walker, do we go to Paul Pierce? They go to Paul Pierce. Why? Because Antoine Walker says so. He says, look, this is a guy that we go to at the end of the game. And while some people look at that and say, well, no, shouldn't he be a little more selfish? No, not really, because Paul Pierce is that guy. And I think, you know what, everybody knows at the end of the game. And Antoine Walker knows, hey, look, I can step up if need be. But Paul Pierce has been our guy, and they do a great job. You watch them when they play New Jersey. Watch how they space the court. They do a great job of spacing the court, and see how Todd McCullough reacts, because Dikembe Mutombo didn't react real well in that series because he couldn't get out to shooters and get back to block shots. I think if they have Todd McCullough in too much of the series, he might find that troublesome too.
Well, and another thing about Boston is that their bench has really played well. Kenny Anderson's coming along strong, and the two guys they got from Phoenix are also playing extremely well.
Well, Delk wasn't playing a lot, but when they asked him to step up, he stepped up and had a big game for him. You remember in the Detroit series, I think he had 15 in one of the first halves in that series. He had 50 points in a game, so this guy can score. And Rodney Rogers gives him versatility. He's big enough, strong enough, swole up enough to be able to guard centers down low, and he can step out and hit that three. So that's what gives the centers problem. You pick and roll with Rodney Rogers. Here's a guy playing center, and you got to go out there and respect him at the three-point line.
All right, at halftime of tomorrow's game, we'll bring you live coverage of the NBA Draft Lottery. Last year's draft featured a record number of high school players. 4 of them were selected among the top 8 picks. Here's a look at the experience of 3 players who made the jump from high school to the NBA.
With the first pick in the 2001 NBA Draft,
I've never had a feeling like that before.
Kwame Brown from Gwynn Academy, Brunswick, Georgia.
I don't think you can be prepared for it at any age. It's just everybody has a transition that they have to go through. You know, it's been like a roller coaster. You're among the adults. You know, nothing you do goes unnoticed.
At guard from North Carolina, number 23, Michael Jordan.
All the attention that the media gives you when you're the #1 pick, especially me being my age, you know, he took a lot of that away from me. And, you know, I'm thankful for that because, you know, I wasn't playing well. They would have been killing me. You know, there's the advantage of having, you know, Michael Jordan in the same locker room that I'm in. I mean, who gets to say that? You know, you have a great coach. You have a coach that's teaching you. He's so smart that, you know, he's almost impatient sometimes. He expects you to pick it up that quick.
We got to get back. Rebound the ball, Kwame. What you made for right here, big fella. Get up on the board. That's why we got you. Get out.
I wouldn't trade places with him. You know, you have 2 great minds working to try to help you and give you your all because they want you to be the best you can be.
With the 8th pick, Cleveland Cavaliers select Sagana Diop from Dakar, Senegal, and Oak Hill Academy.
You know, coming from high school, you're the biggest man on campus. You don't play against nobody.
Stop. Here we go. This is what the NBA is all about. Oh! Just threw it.
Because I thought it was going to be easier than what I saw. I ain't going to lie about that.
You know, he talks one way. He's like most kids. I don't care what to play against Shaq. Then when you see Shaq, you're scared to death. So, I mean, you know, they talk like they're really ready, but they're not ready.
The young, like 19, 20, coming to the league, come in practice, someday coach is going to get on you. Or like the players, the veterans are going to try to get on you, you know. You got to be strong too mentally.
What the concern is that you don't want a high school kid to come out and become a bad kid. That would hurt me more than him not becoming a great basketball player. You know, well, okay, we misread talent. Talent has been misread before, but to bring a kid in the league and then let him fail miserably as a person is worse.
Welcome to our late night segment of the NBA Draft.
In the high school basketball game, I got hurt, and I thought it was just a minor injury, and the doctor says it looked like it's an ACL surgery, and I probably won't be out for the next 6 months.
With the 47th pick in the 2001 NBA Draft,
I thought I would be going somewhere in the first round.
When I got here, his, you know, he had one very bad knee, and our doctors didn't think he would ever play basketball.
He said they really need the players who can play right now, and they feel like I'm not ready to play right now.
My suggestion to him was to wait, not try and play basketball immediately, because I thought he would damage himself for the rest of his life.
I mean, they was trying to keep my draft right, and they want me to go to Europe. I didn't want to go to Europe and play over there because of my age. I belong to the league. I think it's about talent. If things don't work out, go to school or. But I think that's not an option for me. I always feel like things won't work out for me.
I would imagine that most of those high school kids feel like things are going to work out for them. But when you think about the expectations, no matter what the expectations they have for themselves, when they get to the NBA, it's much higher.
Well, you're playing with men now. I mean, you're playing with men who have families, and this is for keeps. I mean, this is a job. This is a livelihood. This is how you support your family. It's not in high school where you lose, go home, go party. It's no big deal, whatever you do. It's a different world out there. And I remember a story, reading Tracy McGrady when he was with Toronto, spending all of his time in his hotel room, just sitting there playing video games, because what are you going to do? You're 18 years old. You're not going to hang out with a guy that's 30 years old in a family. And the guy that's 30 doesn't want to hang out with you either. I mean, let's be honest. Maybe on the road, he'll help you out, but he's got things to do, priorities. So I think that's the biggest adjustment. And from my standpoint, I would never tell these kids not to take the money, because college is there to help you, achieve a career, achieve a goal, and college helps you get there. Well, if they want to play basketball and that's their main objective, well, then they've already done that and they can make the money. But I don't know about you. I had a blast in college. I mean, it was so much fun being in college. Only if you're there for a year or two, it just seems like mentally you would mature a little. You just take your time, mature some, play 2 years of college basketball. To me, it would only seem to help.
I had more fun than you, because I went to Oregon.
I bet you didn't.
At Oregon, I had much more fun. Kwame Brown was the first high school player ever drafted #1, but this year, the top pick is expected to be Duke's Jay Williams or center Yao Ming of China. Now, if you had a pick, who would be your #1 pick?
I would take Jay Williams. I like the way he controls a team. I like the way he gets. Even as a freshman, you could watch this guy out there and you knew he was a player. And while he's not the greatest shooter, I think he will improve. I've only seen Yao Ming a little bit, but they keep telling me, oh, this guy's fluid, this guy can shoot threes, this guy's great on the outside. Why do I want a 7'6" guy that can shoot threes? It's like having a Ferrari in New York City. It's like, it looks great. You're only going 20 miles an hour, but it looks fantastic. I want my center to be a big guy in there, kicking butt, blocking shots, being physical. I'm just not sold on a guy that's, unless you want a 7'6" swingman, then fine, go ahead and take the guy. But if you think he's going to be your center, I'm just not so sure.
Tom, some people do have Ferraris in New York.
Do they?
Yeah.
Well, what good does it do if you're going 50 miles an hour?
The NBA on NBC continues in just a minute.
Stupid.
You're watching Verizon Wireless at the half.
They gave up everything to be together, and this Tuesday is their night.
I love you.
A night of Niles and Daphne, 2 special Frasers, and the season finale.
You want to make my dreams come true? This is my dream.
Be there as they take the next step. The Frasier finale starting at 8/7 Central, NBC Tuesday.
This is Verizon Wireless at the half. Verizon Wireless, we never stop working for you.
It is halftime in Sacramento, where the Lakers lead the Kings by 13 in Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals. Ahmad Rashad and Tom Tolbert with Verizon Wireless at the half. Tom, your thoughts on the first half?
Well, I think the Kings are doing a decent job. You make a point of they have 8 turnovers in the first half, but that's just the way they play. They play on the edge. What they do need to do is start passing the ball better. They're going. It's too much one-on-one. They're taking guys. What they do well is pass the ball. And Vlade Divac has got to start taking that 10 to 15-foot jumper. It makes no sense to have an open 10-foot jumper and drive it right into Shaq and take a 3-foot contested shot. That doesn't work. As far as the Lakers, you look at guys like Fox, Devin George, Fisher, and Ori that are 12 for 19 combined. If they keep shooting like that, which I don't think they will, you're not going to beat him, because Shaq's going to go for his, although he doesn't look as animated today as he usually does. Kobe's on fire. You can accept that. But if those guys can shoot 60% combined, you're in big trouble.
Sacramento looked a little tight, too, at the beginning of that game.
A little tight, but you expect that. I mean, you expect that. It's the first time, it's a big series for them, big game. They've wanted LA. They got LA now, and they're going to settle themselves down.
All right, tomorrow at 5:30 Eastern, we'll bring you Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals between the Nets and the Celtics. Now, Tom is already on record as picking Sacramento in the West. What about the East? Who you picking there?
I like the Celtics here. I like the Celtics because they have Pierce and they have Antoine Walker, and Pierce is a guy who's shown me he can take over games in the fourth quarter. Jason Kidd did a great job against Charlotte taking over the games in the fourth. The difference there, a lot of times Jason Kidd has to rely on his teammates for passing to make shots. Pierce can do it himself. He can create and he can score.
Celtics.
Celtics. Yes.
Earlier here on NBC, it was the 127th running of the Preakness Stakes. Kentucky Derby winner War Emblem continued his quest for the Triple Crown, and here was the call of the stretch run from Tom Durkin.
In the final furlong, just as they were in the Derby, War Emblem and Proud Citizen is surging to him as they come down to the finish. Magic Wisdom coming with a flying finish. Here comes War Emblem to win. He wins the Preakness, and it's on to the Belmont for a try at the Triple Crown. Local long shot. Magic Wisdom was the surprise second, followed by Proud Citizen. War Emblem fought off all challengers today. It's on to Belmont.
So War Emblem will try to become the first Triple Crown winner since affirmed in 1978. The final leg is the Belmont Stakes, and you can see it 3 weeks from today on June 8th right here at BC. Tom's pick, by the way, was Medaglia d'Oro, who is still finishing the race, right?
Up the track.
Actually, it finished in 8th place, and I knew you didn't know what horse to pick. My horse took
No.
second.
See, I picked him, but I picked him to finish 8th. You didn't ask me who I was going to have to. Man,
Coming up, we'll send you back to Sacramento for the second half between the Kings and the Lakers. Thanks for joining us on Verizon Wireless at the half.
This has been Verizon Wireless at the half. Verizon Wireless, we never stop working for you.
Can you hear me now? Good.
All your family wants this spring is a little more time together. Good luck. That's why there's America's Choice National Family Share Plan from Verizon Wireless. Get 2 separate lines for only $55 monthly access and 4,000 total airtime minutes nationwide, all with no roaming or long-distance charges. And get 2 Motorola V120C phones for only $49.99. Perfect for someone special in your family.
Verizon Wireless, we never stop working for you.
Can you hear me now? Good.
The NBA and WNBA continue to write new chapters to the Read to Achieve story.
Okay, let's read.
With each turn of the page, players and coaches are encouraging families to open a book with their children.
You like this book? All right.
And by donating computers and books to create reading and learning centers, the NBA is helping kids develop a lifelong love of reading.
Read to Achieve!
Be a part of the success and Read to Achieve.
Got a passion. It's called peace.
Race-inspired cockpit. Chronograph-style instrumentation. Introducing the Lexus IS 300 5-speed. Totally unexpected. Especially starting at under $30,000. For an incredible value, just show up at your Lexus dealer.
Halftime of game one, Lakers lead the Kings by 13 as we get to start the third quarter. Hi again, everyone. Lakers offensively, how much better can you get?
Offensive brilliance, the result of flawless execution, and it wasn't any one guy. It was everybody. Kobe, Ori, Shaq, Fox, Fisher. They shoot 54%. They shoot 6 for 12 on threes, and Sacramento just could not keep the pace.
Meanwhile, with Sacramento, Steve, they're one of the best passing teams in the league. Not so in the first half.
Yeah, this is a team that averages 20 assists, and you can see they only got 6. They got nothing from Vivian in the second quarter. Turkoglu is yet to get in it, so they got to get their offense going.
Not a good first half for Rick Adelman and the Kings. Adelman just a couple of moments ago spoke with our Lewis Johnson.
Coach, can you describe what your players are going through in the first half, and what did you talk to them about at halftime to try and get them in a better flow here in this important game one?
Well, we're not defending them. They're beating us off dribble penetration, getting too many open shots, and you know, you got to get some energy down in the court. We got to pass the ball better. Just trying to attack them out on one possession or one pass, and you just got to do a better job, especially defensively.
Okay, thanks. Good luck in the second half. Mike?
All right, Lewis. So Chris Webber, who had 2 fouls but had 14 points and 10 boards, didn't get a lot of help from the likes of Ito Turkoglu. And with no Stojakovic, Turkoglu must play well, and he was scoreless in that first half.
Well, you heard Adelman say ball movement, player movement, better decisions with the ball, so let's see if they do it and, you know, start knocking down some shots.
And Christie puts in the three, and that's their first three-pointer. They were 0 for 3 from downtown in the first half.
And after giving up 18 points on three-point shots by the Lakers, that is a welcome sign of relief for these King Royalists.
He had a terrific first half shooting the basketball and continues. He now has 13, and that's his playoff high for this season.
Weber's going to have to close that distance. He's got too much space, and he's confident now.
Nibby blocked by O'Neal and a jump ball.
But we're seeing a different Robert Horry today, Steve. We're seeing a guy who's attacking the hoop from the get-go. Generally, this guy comes out and just swings the ball, is the wheel, feeds the post, cuts backdoor, plays the great defense. Today, he's come out today. I'm shooting every time. I'm initiating this attack.
This should be interesting. O'Neal and Bibby.
The question is, what's Sacramento going to do in terms of anticipation and try to steal it and try to anticipate shots brainwaves? And they got it.
There you go. And the alley-oop. Oh, that's a perfect play.
Just as you draw it up. Vlade. That's why Vlade can be successful, because he is the smartest of the big guys who are trying to take it away from Shaq.
He's like the father on this team, makes all the right decisions that time. And the crowd trying to get back into it. They were taken out early. Horry inside. O'Neal mistimed his jump and then puts it in. Turkoglu had it and lost it. Shaquille O'Neal with a chance for a three-point play.
They're calling this foul on Chris Webber, and that is 3 on him, and Chris just bailed out on the play. When you're in deep and you're dead, you're in the water, you got to let it go. The push by Turkoglu not called, and Chris Webber just grabbing and holding. At that point, just let him score and get it back on the offensive end. And now everything up against Sacramento and Chris Webber with 3 fouls.
The key there, though, Turkoglu, after that little shove, had the ball in his hands and lost it. And then Webber just faintly touched O'Neal. O'Neal puts in the free throw. Every time the Kings look like they might make a little bit of a run to get it under double digits, something like that happens.
Well, they just have to stay with it. There's plenty of time. They have an offense which is certainly capable of getting them back in the game. They have to put some doubt in the Lakers' mind about making shots.
Bibby, left-handed. I think Bryant got a piece of that.
What a defensive recovery by Kobe Bryant. Nice pass that time out of the low post by Webber.
Bibby on Fox. Christie's on Fisher. Fisher can't connect. And ball tipped out. Robert Horry.
These guys are really good, this Lakers team.
And here's a reach-in foul. It's going to go against Pito Turkoglu. That's his first.
The Kings are fighting themselves. Every time it looks like they've gotten a break, they knock the ball into each other or off one another, and then it bounces right back to the Lakers. So they've got to get better communication.
But all the little things. Horry tipping the ball.
Horry misses that 3.
And Kobe Bryant deflecting that last shot by Mike Bibby. They just keep piling up advantages after advantages on every single possession.
Whether it's that, part of the problem is when you fall behind so early, you have to play near perfect basketball, and the pressure of doing that against a team like the Lakers is very difficult.
Sacramento's mindset should be, look, 110 points. That's our goal. They're playing flawless, the Lakers on offense. If we get 110, we got a chance.
Christie trying to keep Bryant in front of him. Shot clock at 4. Bryant inside on the travel. Good help defense to force the turnover.
Christie is a very, very good defensive player. Phil Jackson, frustrated, disappointed, but not going to lose his cool there. And Christie was just lost right there. That's how good Kobe Bryant is, but good rotation forcing Kobe to shuffle his feet.
Turkoglu's help defense forced that turnover. There was contact, but Bryant traveled before the contact.
Again, they don't want to dribble a ball that much. They want to move it. They want to swing it. They don't want to have to settle for the jumper. This foul again.
It's good against Divac. Divac has picked up his 3rd. He thought originally it was going to stay there. Tom Washington, the official, didn't signal which way.
He did point down on the floor to stay here. That's a really tough call in the 3rd quarter of the opening game of the Western Conference Finals.
Now, Divac fouled out twice in the Utah series, once in the Dallas series. During the regular season, he only fouled out once.
And another foul on Vlade. This is really tough.
So Divac now has 4 personal fouls. And he's going to have to sit for quite some time.
Well, Ori comes up gimpy off of the play, but they had good ball movement, good player movement that time, and all the Kings defense could do was reach and grab.
But another sign of the determination of Los Angeles today. Ori comes up, he gets kneed in the right quadricep there, doesn't lay on the floor, doesn't go through the histrionics, gets up and tries to shake it off, and he says, let's get going. We've got work to do today. We've got a game.
That's not a hard foul, but it's a foul. He was in the wrong place, wrong time, and he will sit. Pollard comes back in the game. Robert Ori trying to walk off that knee banging he had with Divac. Laker lead back up to 11. They have led from the start.
The bad news in all of this is the Kings have got 14 fouls already.
Bryant, nice move, can't finish. And Bryant shaking up on the play. Kobe Bryant hobbling as he comes up the floor. Deflected out of bounds by Fisher. And there's a scary sight for the Lakers.
Same possession, two banged knees here. Kobe Bryant slashing down the lane. A lot of Kings reaching. He split two defenders two different times, and Kobe gets banged there. That's the Kings' hope. Just keep coming. Come with the relentless attack and wear him down.
Weber staying on the floor with the 3 fouls. Turkoglu, offensive foul as Hedo Turkoglu knocks down Robert Ori. That's the second on Turkoglu, who's really struggling today.
Well, decision making. They'd like him to pass the ball. They want that ball swung. He decided he wanted to go one-on-one. Never saw Robert Ori. Ran right into him.
Steve, we're seeing things from this Laker team that you're never going to acknowledge in the statistical accumulation at the end of the game. Ori, Kobe Bryant, all the guys. Rick Fox just doing a wonderful job time and time again.
And racking up the fouls, and O'Neal just dumps it in. And the LA Lakers, after again a quick run, have now put it back up to 13.
Now that's a move. Shaq flashing, coming back with a fake one-way and exploding. Beautiful execution.
First team foul against the Lakers, and Rick Fox picks it up.
This is the best I've seen the Lakers play all year. They have got it all going. Shaq steps in quickly. That little fake, Akeem Olajuwon, Kevin McHale-like, and then coming right back. Pollard, as good as he is, nothing he can do.
Turkoglu just forces that one. The frustration, you can tell, sitting in there. And last foul is on Fox. Let's, as much as Turkoglu's struggling, the main reason is the defense Rick Fox is playing on him. And the ball was kicked. Fox is a very underrated defender. Last year, of course, he stopped Stojakovic. And Phil Jackson can't say enough about him defensively. Calls him, he's plain and simple, he's a stopper.
Well, no, he's a tough defender, but I mean, Turkoglu is just rushing his shot, and if he'll just relax, he'll start getting that ball to go in. Let's remember this: defense always has to react to good offense, and we've seen it when the Lakers have moved the ball, moved themselves, team foul number 5. So the Lakers are going to shoot.
A foul on the entry pass. That's Pollard's first, so they're in the penalty.
But how are you going to get Turkoglu off? I mean, the lead players, Bibby and Weber, have got to help him. The confidence is going to ultimately come from Adelman, but if you get dribble penetration and kick it off to him for an easy setup, do a dribble handoff, get him an easy play so that he can find a rhythm and gain a little bit of confidence, that's what the team game is all about.
You can sense the Kings, again, since falling behind early, they've trailed by as many as 16, have been pressing to try and get back in. O'Neal, 1 of 2. 15 points for O'Neal, 6 of them here in his third period in just 4 minutes.
Never underestimate the job that Derek Fisher has done on Mike Bibby and slowing him down, cutting down his ankles, much the way he did last year in the finals against Iverson.
Bibby puts that one
in your face, Wolf.
Bibby now with 10. But that's the story about these role players with Fox and Ori and Fisher. They don't just hit threes. They make big defensive plays and do it on a regular basis.
The effort that they exude on the defensive end, and Shaq is just rolling.
Impossible to stop. Shaquille O'Neal starting to flex his muscles there in the third.
Those are the shots you want Shaq to take.
And it's obvious as Fox gets called for that one. They're starting to tighten it up a little bit as there's been some extra pushing and shoving.
Well, what has happened is they're letting Shaq get the ball too deep. And then Pollard is trying to react to that, and Shaq's rolling now. Early in that first half, he was not making shots. Now he's got a good rhythm.
That was 3 on Fox. He remains in the game. Weber double team. Kicks out. But Christie left wide open. And Christie able to knock down the jumper.
Chris Webber with a nice pass after drawing the double team, but as this series goes on, if he doesn't execute better footwork down in that low post in that left box, it's not going to happen for Sacramento.
The crowd desperate for a Kings run. Bryant. Christie stays with him, knocks it away. Excellent defensive play. Bryant will try it again. With 2 on him, knocks it in. What a shot from Kobe Bryant.
That's a heartbreaker right there, because you do everything and the ball comes right back to him, and then he dumps one down on you. Ori with the foul. Too deep, and so he's not even going to let him get a chance to go to work.
But with Kobe Bryant seemingly shut down, when everything seems as if it's going to just totally fall apart, you cannot make a more difficult shot right there. He's got 2 guys lunging right at him. He's falling away up against the shot clock. He's just too good.
Christie could not have played him any better, and then gets the nice feed from Webber.
Now that's what they wanted to do at the outset of the ball game. Move ball, pass ball, finish play.
They had 6 assists the entire first half. They had 6 already in the third. The crowd on its feet here at Arco. They haven't had too much to cheer about so far. O'Neal deep. Rushed it. Webber couldn't handle a rebound, but Pollard right there to pick up the pieces. You could see Turkoglu so desperate to get on the board. Bibby inside. And one. Mike Bibby with a chance for a 3-point play.
Sacramento's found a game here, and the crowd is starting to believe. Now, while the Lakers are continuing to play great, Sacramento showing some signs of life, faint as they may be.
Bibby now with 12 points for the Kings. They've been down by as many as 16, trying to claw their way back into it as we're just past the midway point here in the third quarter. Lakers have led throughout the entire game, with the crowd on its feet as the Kings look for a comeback.
This is what it feels like when you eat the wrong thing before a game. Prepare yourself with the pregame food you need. Gatorade Energy Bar, packed with the carbs and protein your body needs to tear it up. Get ahead of the game.
Coach, you were 5-79 last year. Why the playoff talk?
Well, we made a couple of key trades, and we got the funk.
Oh, well, glory be, the funk's on me, Bobby.
Keep that funk alive. Keep that funk alive.
Well, it's 1975, and we'll just be keeping the funk alive. So what the?
The NBA on NBC is brought to you by Lexus and their passionate pursuit of perfection. By Rocky Mountain Cold Coors Light. Cold, down, easy. By NikeBasketball.com. And by MGM's Wind Talkers, starring Nicolas Cage in a John Woo film. Rated R. Sacramento Kings getting some big minutes now from Mike Bibby, averaging over 18 points a game in the playoffs. Now making some big plays here in the third.
Well, you know, Mike Bibby is a guy that really does have great offensive ability. Inside and out, he's a threat at all times, and he's just got to remain aggressive, and he's doing so here in the third quarter of play. And if he continues to attack, good things will happen for the Kings and Bibby, who has now a chance for a three-point play.
Bibby never played in the playoffs when he was with Vancouver. In his first-round series, his first playoff action ever was in the opening round against Utah and John Stockton. When that series ended in 4 games, Bibby went over to Stockton and said thank you to him. Thank you for showing me what it's like, for helping me learn about the playoffs. He says Stockton was very gracious, said you're welcome. And Bibby learned a little bit about the playoffs from one of the all-time greats.
Bibby torched John Stockton in that series and then went on to dismantle Steve Nash. He was the best player, the most valuable player for Sacramento, and now his poise has made it happen.
And just like that, O'Neal quiets the crowd. Shaquille O'Neal has 10 points in this third quarter, and we played just 6.5 minutes.
No, those are the quick-hitting plays that they don't want to let the Lakers execute as they try to claw their way back in.
Bibby draws the foul on Horry, and they're going to call it in the act of shooting. So Mike Bibby will go back to the line.
When the Lakers can score like this out of a made free throw, you know you're in trouble. But then when Bibby comes right back along this baseline move here, with the Laker defender flying right by him.
Yeah, he'll also learn that from John Stockton. You know, a nice pickup there.
Steve, Chris Webber, when he's handling that ball on the top of the key there, and they're swinging it around the perimeter, he has to be much more decisive. He's showing a lack of confidence in his own decision-making for Sacramento to have a chance to win this game.
Meanwhile, Horry picks up his third. Robert Horry now with 3 fouls, and Bibby's free throw shooting has just been tremendous in the postseason. He's 37 of 40 from the line. That's over 92%.
This crowd will not let the Kings die here. Turnover, Sacramento.
Lakers say it was deflected. Dick Bavetta checking with Mike Callahan, who's the lead official on the baseline. He says no deflection, Kings ball.
Well, as Kobe Bryant just threw that one, it went off the fingertips of Doug Christie. They missed it, and Kings get a break. But they need a break.
Did that hit him?
Yeah, get nicked it.
You got good eyesight.
No, it definitely missed it.
Well, don't take his glasses, I'll tell you that.
Webber fires away, puts it in. And just like that, Sacramento within 7.
Have your mind set for Sacramento. Points and points. When was the last time the Lakers even scored 100 in the NBA playoffs?
This is the closest they've been since the first quarter. They've trailed by as many as 16. Fisher. Perkele the rebound.
Well, that is what they were getting in the first half. Horry, Fisher knocking down those threes.
Bibby won't go. And Rick Fox, excellent boxing out. Crowd thought he pushed, but he grabs the board.
Now, Bibby's got to keep taking that shot. That is his shot. He can make that shot. It's going to make a big dent in the Laker lead if he continues to be aggressive.
Los Angeles has to go to Shaq earlier in the shot clock.
They look to double. O'Neal. Webber with another rebound, his 11th.
And Pollard is in transition, running Shaq. Sacramento doing a lot of things right here.
O'Neal knocked it away. Lakers' transition defense has really been very strong.
Well, the crowd is upset, but Pollard didn't come to get that ball. If he comes to get that ball, they get a foul against Shaq.
O'Neal deep in the post again. Perkele comes in for the rebound.
Perkele has found a rebounding rhythm. That'll help him work his way back into the rest of his game. Great defense, Fisher. That's
offensive foul. Boy, Fisher, he's one of the best in the NBA at drawing charges.
And while, Steve, you talked at the outset about Adelman's claim that this matchup will be critical with Bibby having to be successful, never underestimate this little guy, Derek Fisher.
Well, that makes it even more important that he's successful. I mean, if he is going to be that important defensive stopper, Bibby's going to have to make better decisions. Certainly, he's going to have to make shots.
First foul on Bibby. They go again to Shaquille O'Neal. Pollard trying to battle O'Neal in and uses the glass beautifully.
Well, that is the ultimate saver for the Lakers, and they went to him 3 times. They finally get something. He's got 12 in the quarter.
Beautiful pass by Webber and a foul on Shaq. Make him guard the ball.
That's only his second. And now they're in the penalty, so Pollard will go to the free throw line.
Even though Shaq is rolling offensively, the Kings can live with this. Just don't get in a fouling situation. You make a guy take jumpers like that, fading away every single time. Shaq has not been able to go to the hoop time and time again, and now Pollard getting it back on the offensive end.
Pollard 6 of 7 from the line so far in the postseason in his limited minutes. It's that tomorrow at 4:30 Eastern following a 1-hour pregame. The NBA playoffs continue as the New Jersey Nets will host the Boston Celtics in the Eastern Conference Final, Game 1. Wednesday night, Jason Kidd helped them eliminate Charlotte. And then, of course, the draft lottery will come up at halftime. Exclusive coverage of that. So tomorrow, Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals with the NBA draft lottery at halftime. Tomorrow at 4:30 Eastern. And it's back to a 7-point game. Fisher running a foul. Turkoglu has really helped out on the boards here in this third quarter. Still scoreless. Or he doesn't go for the fake. Inside to Pollard. O'Neal knocks it away. Weber, and an offensive foul on Weber. That's his fourth. And Derek Fisher does it again.
But he got too cute. What happened was Bibby was wide open the first time he looked that way. He decided to try to go in a little bit further, and that's when he created a collision. This is an easy call to make. Bibby is right there, wide open. He goes one step too far and then tries to make the play.
Never let the show get in the way of the game.
Weber with 4, Divac with 4. Kings, though, still down 7.
So, Jeff, Susie's told us a lot about you, but she didn't tell us what you do.
Oh, Coors Light.
Is that good money?
I made $20 last week, but I made $1 million today.
This summer, Coors Light and Coors Original are giving away cash. Lots of cash. Thousands of winners. There's also $1 million up for grabs each day, every day. Look for the specially marked packs of Coors Light or Coors Original for your shot at the cash.
You know, if it doesn't work out with Susie, she's got a sister.
Sweet.
Are you tough enough to drive a Tacoma?
They left their people to defend this country.
I've never seen so many white men.
They've never seen so many Navajos.
Ow! Just kidding. What are you doing here?
I'm a code talker.
Why ante up, Chief?
As you know, as a chief, you must have seen me showering with my war bonnet.
The Corps developed a new code based on the Navajo language. You're to pair with a code talker. Your job is to keep him alive so he can do his job.
They use their language to preserve our freedom. From director John Woo.
Come on! It's my responsibility! Let's go!
We're gonna make it. We're gonna make it out of here.
Nicolas Cage.
You done good today, Ben.
Wind Talkers, rated R. Starts Friday, June 14th at theaters everywhere. NBC Tonight.
Hold on.
Celebrate the 35th anniversary of Star Trek with the network premiere of Insurrection. NBC Tonight, 9/8 Central.
Hi, I'm Winona Ryder, and I'll be hosting the season finale of Saturday Night Live. This week's musical guest, Moby.
She'll steal your hearts.
That's not all she'll steal.
After a relatively quiet first half, Shaquille O'Neal has erupted here in the third quarter for the LA Lakers. O'Neal has been doing it at both ends with an array of moves.
The offensive execution has been nothing short of brilliant. The movement, the flashing from the weak side, the over the top. He's the best in league history at that.
And he's doing it under some duress with all the injuries. Of course, the arthritic right toe is key, but he seems to be okay with that. But it's just one of many injuries for Shaquille O'Neal. You can tell he's not 100%, but he's doing pretty well here.
His numbers are down. He's been doing what has been necessary to get the Lakers here. But To win the championship, you got to put it all out there. A lot of guys have wrecked their bodies doing it. Shaq learning the hard way this season after a relatively injury-free career up to this point.
What the Kings have got to do is try to get Shaq further out on the floor because they're letting him get solo coverage. So he's going one-on-one.
Robert Horry keeps it alive. Last touch by the Kings. Boy, Horry, he's doing a little bit of everything here today.
Well, that's why they like Robert Horry, and that's why he always seems to play so well in the playoffs. Coming out of the ball game now, Devin George will replace him.
Horry says one of the reasons that he plays so well in the postseason is he got days off between games. Says he doesn't recover as well during the regular season. No Divac and no Weber, both sitting on the bench with 4 fouls, and of course no Stojakovic. The Kings try to hang in there. Bryant gets away from Jackson and misfires. Devin George on the tip-in.
See, those are the killers right there. They get Kobe to take a tough shot, and they don't rebound the ball. Second chance points. They've done a pretty good job of keeping the Lakers out of that category, but they've got to make everything work for them.
Pollard tries to keep it alive, and he's called for a loose ball foul. Rick Allen very upset, and the Lakers are going to shoot some free throws. 2 on Pollard.
Control of the boards, the result of best defensive efforts. That's what allows you to control the tempo. Mike Bibby unable to connect here. The arm on the shoulder of Kobe Bryant holding Kobe down. Referee, the backside official standing at half court, and Rick Adelman cannot believe it.
They both went up at the same time. That should have been a no call, but Kings don't catch a break. Bryant at the line.
This is his first free throw attempt. He struggled in the Spurs series from the line, just 58%. Of course, normally a terrific free throw shooter, and now has 19 total points.
But what we've seen today is a totally different team from the Lakers. We've seen a team that's concentrating, that realizes that if they don't play really, really well, they're going to lose not only this game, but this series.
So the Kings have to realize that you're not going to get 7 points in one possession. Be patient. Continue to grind it out. They got to get a score with this possession coming up.
Lead back up to 11. Just over a minute and a half remaining in this third period. Bobby Jackson had some good minutes in the first half.
Fox's defense so good, though.
Jackson for 3. Won't go. And Fisher with a rebound. Rick Fox's defense all game long. And Dick Bavetta blows the whistle.
Problem with the floor.
Yep, something's on the court.
Good job by Bavetta, making sure that injuries are not exacerbated by water on the floor.
So they make sure it's all set. Not only do you have the best players right now left with the best teams in the NBA, you have the best referees officiating the games. Turkoglu on Bryant. Gets inside, tough shot, won't go. O'Neal.
That's why you cannot give up penetration, because your big man has to go for blocks, and that allows Shaq to do that.
Turkoglu shot sent into the 5th row. And Sacramento will inbound, just under a minute remaining, and it's back up to a 13-point lead. A huge third quarter for Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah, they got it to 7, and then there's been a series of turnovers and no offensive production. A hope shot there from Turkoglu.
Nearly chipped in by O'Neal, who rips down that rebound.
Now that's a rebound. Although the rebound of the year was Kobe's at the end of the game in San Antonio.
I would agree. Turkoglu, meanwhile, now 0 for 7 from the field. Devin George. Fans a little quiet again. They have tried desperately to urge on their team. Turkoglu, that's a 2. Still can't connect. Bobby Jackson, a rebound, and backs it in with O'Neal right there.
Turkoglu just doesn't know where to get a score right now, and that's really causing him to press. And every time he gets open, he's thinking he's got to knock down his shot, not getting it done.
Big defensive stop opportunity for Sacramento. Give the crowd something at the quarter break to really yell and scream about.
Shot clock is turned off. O'Neal blocked from behind by Turkoglu, but Devin George right there to put it in.
Every break that can go the way of the Lakers is going that way in the steal.
Bryant for three. Won't go. And there's the buzzer ending the third quarter. That showed a little promise for Sacramento. But once again, every time the Kings make a run, the Lakers answer right back. Shaquille O'Neal with 14 points in this third period. Now 23 for the game to lead all scores. And after three, it's a 13-point Laker lead. We'll be right back after these words from your local station. You're watching the NBA playoffs on NBC.
The Insurance Institute for Highway Safety subjected full-size pickups to their crash test, a test performed at even higher speeds than those conducted by the government. In the end, Tundra earned the highest overall safety rating for full-size pickups. Toyota Tundra. When we say better from the ground up, we mean a lot better.
Cosby Show, a look back, NBC Sunday.
Nothing yet. Baby, you just ain't nothing yet.
Think you've seen it all? Well, you ain't seen nothing yet. Because right now, your Ford dealers are offering 0.9% financing or up to $3,500 cash back on some of the best-selling vehicles in America. And now with 0.9% financing or up to $3,500 cash back, the competition better watch out, because see your Southern Nevada Ford store.
You think this Corolla is beautiful? This is beautiful. Just $99 over invoice at Fletcher Jones Toyota.
Check out my new Tacoma. Check out this deal. I saved thousands at Fletcher Jones.
We love our new Camry.
And we really love the price.
Just $99 over invoice.
Don't miss this one. Take your pick of any new Toyota for just $99 over invoice.
Nobody's cheaper than Fletcher Jones. Toyota.
Thank you for making Channel 3 your first choice for news.
National Basketball Association is intended solely for the entertainment of our audience. And any retransmission, reproduction, rebroadcast, or other dissemination or use of this telecast, or of the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the express written consent of the National Basketball Association is prohibited.
I'm Ahmad Rashad along with Tom Tolbert back in New York. A reminder that tomorrow at 4:30 Eastern, we'll have a special 1-hour NBA on NBC pregame show preceding Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals between the Nets and the Celtics. I'll be at the NBA studios in Secaucus, New Jersey for the NBA Draft Lottery, where we'll talk with Commissioner David Stern and the new president of the Memphis Grizzlies, Jerry West, while Orlando Magic head coach Doc Rivers will join Hannah Storm and Tom here in New York. And at halftime of the game, we will bring you the NBA Draft Lottery. Tom, a quick note or thought on the fourth quarter.
Well, Shaquille O'Neal has had his way with Scott Pollard in the third quarter, and Hedo Turkoglu has scored about as many points as a dead guy. I mean, he's got to start scoring and giving them buckets. Someone's got to score in the fourth quarter. They better get to every loose ball. They better limit Los Angeles offensive rebounds if they want to get back in this game.
As many points as a dead guy. That would be... Now back to Mike, Bill, and Steve in Sacramento.
Well, Tom, during his career, was a dead guy a few times. I couldn't resist. Meanwhile, talk about the lottery. That guy's going to be picked, of course, from University of Kansas, and he's a local guy, Bill.
Growing up in Richmond, California, just adjacent to Berkeley. Drew coming up here, his dad taught him a lot of things growing up, and what a day it's going to be tomorrow when they pick that draft order.
Bryant.
Now, they held Kobe in check in that third quarter. He only had 4 points. He had 16 at the break, so he's got 20. He had that one spectacular play, but they've got him missing shots now.
Walker called for the travel that time, as you see Divac and Weber both back in with the fourth foul.
Time for Sacramento to really go. Shaq's on the bench for his regular rotation on the rest.
Weber inside.
Got it.
The tip won't go. Divac tips it in.
No explosion for Chris Webber.
There's no excuse for that.
Where's the footwork?
Miss.
Where is the footwork?
Robert Horry down. And Horry is still down. Lakers going to have to call a timeout. And we'll call a 20-second timeout as Horry's shaken up. Horry has had a superb game.
There's not a guy on the Lakers that hasn't had a superb game.
His teammates even unaware as they went up the floor and then realized he was still back there.
Remember earlier when he got banged up, he just popped right back up?
See if we get a look at it.
Oh, the elbow coming down, and he seems to be grabbing.
So Weber's left arm coming down on Horry in that play, and he is still down.
Ouch.
That could be a concussion type of deal there where you got that and you're going to be out for a while.
And he gets up and now walks off the floor.
Headache.
Again, unintentional from Weber.
When you're playing basketball underneath the hoop, you got to keep your arms up and protect your face area. The referees are trying to get this ball in play.
Or he's going to stick.
He doesn't look all that clear-headed right now, Steve.
Well, I mean, that's been... He's going to stick in the game, so he's going to try to play through it.
I think he just needed a rest.
I don't know. If you're Sacramento, run everything right at him right now and check him out.
Lindsey Hunter, meanwhile, back in the game for the Lakers. Bryant spinning. Count it, and one. Doug Christie made a swat at it at the last second, and Bryant with a chance for a three-point play.
He did everything but he pushed out at the end of the play.
And we've had some technical fouls handed out. Divac and Walker double technicals. The official's just nipping that in the bud right now. You don't shoot any free throws on double technicals.
Oh, you watch Kobe work here, and he's spinning, working his way. Christie stayed with him, and watch the little push on the hip down below. Not much, but they give it to Kobe. They have a chance for a three-point play.
And there's the taunting technicals.
And Robert Horry has spent this entire time over with Gary Vitti in front of the Lakers bench, talking it out, seeing what they're going to do here.
Bryant misses badly, but he has 22 points, 13-point Laker lead, opening minute here in the fourth.
Poor spacing by Sacramento to get everybody on the same side of the floor.
Divac against Walker. Walker does a good job holding him out. Weber can't connect to Walker. Hauls in the rebound.
They needed Weber to dive through. I mean, they got three guys over there. If he goes to the bucket, he's going to get a layup, and he stays out there and misses that jump shot.
He's taken too long to deliver the shot, Weber out there.
Lindsey Hunter, that's a long three. Walker tips it out right to Hunter. Samaki Walker with a nice play.
Phil Jackson said one of the real keys is for us to get on the offensive glass. And the Lakers have done that today. That's got to be an offensive foul.
Devin George plows into Mike Bibby, and George picks up his fourth. But Sacramento still down by 13. Now, you look at Weber. He's got 20 points, 12 boards, 5 assists. Those are some real nice numbers, but evaluate his performance. In terms of
stats. Give me impact. Give me control.
Well, he still has 10 minutes for the impact and control.
Yeah, Weber staying on one side, and this is not what they wanted. They wanted to be able to move the ball and move people and get easy shots. A lob to Weber. Nice hit. Beautiful. Beautiful.
That's pretty good hand control on that.
Well, Weber's got great hands. If he can touch it, he can make a lot of things happen with it, and that was an example.
Christie has had his hands full. Stays right with Bryant, who puts it in.
That's the problem with trying to beat the Lakers. Not only you got Shaq out of the game finally, so you get a little bit of a respite there.
Jackson draws the foul as he goes to the hole. We're starting to see some hard fouls, a little extra chirping as Devin George picks up his fifth, and Bobby Jackson will shoot two.
But when it all breaks down, you just give the ball to this guy. Is there anybody in the game today who does things like this? I don't know, Steve. You think of anybody that Well,
like that. I give you a list. We can start with Tracy McGrady and work our way back. But, I mean, you know, he's just making shots. And he has been making big plays when they've been needed. And that's why it seems like they're so memorable. If you miss those shots, you'd be saying, he needs to give it up. They need to get Shaq back in the game.
George takes a seat. Bryant's made at least 5 shots today in this game that he was defended perfectly, yet he still knocks him down.
Well, that's what a great offensive player is going to do, and that's what, you know, you talk about defense all the time, but when you've got a player that can make shots, it doesn't matter what the defense is doing.
And the hope for Sacramento is that their guys, Weber and Bibby, can start doing that themselves.
Christie just can't catch a break. You know, he's trying to stick and stay, trying to stay real close to Bryant. That time they call him for the hold on the cut.
That's his 3rd and the 2nd team foul.
And against a player like Kobe, you need to be able to get a little bit of help.
Offensive foul. Walker pushed down Divac. Maybe a little bit of a flop in that.
No. Vlade was right in there, and Samaki Walker lost his mind. Vlade had the good position here, and just to push that extra lunge right in. You lower your shoulder into the guy's throat, you're going to go flying.
That's quite a jolt back on that 1-4.
There you go, double pickup high for Jackson to try to get inside.
Jackson, wild shot. Ori knocks it out of bounds. Still Sacramento ball, and still plenty of time. There's 9:11 left. Kings down by 11.
But Shaq is coming back in now, and they weren't able to wrest control of the game from the Los Angeles Lakers.
Well, with Shaq out on the floor, they got it down to 7. But, you know, they haven't been able to do a lot. You can look at the numbers. Shaq has been huge in this ball game, plus minus.
Why would you ever take him out?
He's played 33 minutes so far.
See, now, the 2 guys right there, and they're going to give them that shot. And Divac, Weber, they both need to dive. They need to go to the basket. They're both good passers. They can find the guy on the way to the hoop.
Mike, you enumerated all the injuries that Shaq is playing with. He is running better in this game than at any point in memory.
And certainly in the San Antonio series, and his hand looks better. Ori gets inside. And let's see the call. Dick Bavetta blew the whistle. And a blocking foul call on Divac because he was in the restricted area. So that will be number 5.
The referees train themselves to look down at that line. And now with Weber and Vlade having this conversation about how they're going to play this last 8:44 and serious foul trouble. Kings in trouble.
And you see,
he's outside the line.
It's tough to tell. That was very close. Anyway, it's Divac's 5th foul. 11-point Laker lead.
The Celtics, the Nets, tomorrow, 4:30 Eastern, NBC.
This is Silverado Heavy Duty. The most powerful heavy-duty pickup you can get. Silverado Heavy Duty. More truck from Chevy.
How's your retirement plan performing? Sun America can help. Just ask your financial advisor. Sun America, the retirement specialist. How safe is your retirement plan? Sun America can help. Just ask your financial advisor. Sun America, the retirement specialist.
2 points is 2 points. Don't be a show-off. I don't care if you slam dunk. I don't care if you shoot a layup. 2 points is 2 points. All you gotta do is take a short shot. Box out, rebound. You ain't got to dunk on everybody.
Forget about the theatrics.
All you get for that is two. You ain't scored 2 points your whole life.
Who you gonna listen to? How about yourself? Obey your thirst. Sprite.
Hey, yo, Kobe, you think you getting some tickets? Courtside? Yeah.
Come on!
The NBA on NBC is brought to you by Chevy Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. By Sun America, the retirement specialist. By Hewlett-Packard, HP Digital Imaging. When it's this easy, why not? And by Sprite, obey your thirst. Just under 9 minutes remaining, fourth quarter. Vlade Divac picked up his 5th foul on this. Dick Bavetta ruling that he was in the restricted area, but on this particular part, his foot is above the line.
Well, I think you'd have to say Bavetta might have thought he was still moving, but it looked like he was out in front and took that right in the chest, and just another bad break for Divac and the Kings.
But, Steve, go back to what Bavetta's call was. Bavetta pointed down into the circle area, and he said, I'm making my call because you're inside the line.
Whatever the call that Divac disagreed with, Bavetta just had a chat with him.
Might have told him I missed a call, but I mean, you know, you got to play through. I mean, referees make mistakes, and if you're going to be a good team, if you're going to be the champion, you got to fight through some missed calls.
So Horry will go to the line. Robert Horry has had a very strong all-around game.
That call by Dick Bavetta will not have nearly the impact on this game that Chris Webber's botched pass a few minutes ago had, where they had a wide-open Mike Bibby in a very close game, and the crowd and the momentum surging towards Sacramento, and he got caught up in trying to throw a fancy pass and ended up with the offensive foul. Yikes.
The Kings had gotten within 7 at that point. That's the closest they've been in the second half. And right now it's back up to 13.
Yeah, they got to get this thing down to 8-9 points by the 6-minute mark and continue to keep the heat on.
Webber with the jumper, able to put it in. 24 points for Webber.
When he pulls the trigger right away, he's so much more effective.
Pressure by the Kings. And this is one of the ways I think that you can create problems for the Lakers. Go down and get them in the backcourt. Make them set out further out on the floor. Make Shaq have to catch the ball further, and all of their reads are different for them.
How beautifully the Lakers swing the ball around the perimeter and get the mismatch.
Fox easily takes Bibby off the dribble. And Rick Fox now with 9 points.
It's such a smart Laker team. You know exactly where every mismatch is.
And Bibby hits the jumper. 17 for Bibby.
That intelligence for the Lakers comes from Phil Jackson.
But Sacramento cannot afford to trade baskets right now. Lindsey Hunter getting the most minutes he's had in this postseason.
This is not a good matchup for Bibby, a bigger Fox.
Horry can't connect, and Webber another rebound. Bibby knocked away by Hunter, who corrals it in. Divac dives on him, and a jump ball.
Vlade's already got 1 technical, so he can't have any breakdowns here. He's got 5 fouls, 1 more mistake either way, and Vlade's out of this game.
But it's a big play by Vlade, though, to jump in there. It looks as though Hunter's going to have it. He comes over the top, and they get a jump ball.
Last time Shaquille O'Neal and Mike Bibby had a jump ball, it was Sacramento that won it, and they won this one as well. Divac's calling for it. And again, he's got 5 fouls. Spinning against Horry. Blocked by Horry, but a foul. And Robert Horry's picked up his 4th. And some extracurricular activities after the whistle.
No. Robert Horry's throwing the ball to the official. He tosses it to him, and Doug Christie stepped in there to intercept it, and they both have a good laugh about it.
No, he was trying to get a tee. That's what Doug Christie was trying to do. And he spins back inside. Nice move by Vlade. Almost all ball, but he got him across the arm. And then when he gets that ball back, he fired it toward Dick Bavetta.
So that's why when you make that spin move, you get right in the air. You don't come in double clutch.
And see, he'll get this ball, and he's not happy with the call. He fires it back out there, and he's saying, hey, I was throwing it to the official.
Evot's 9.7 boards. The Kings have been strong from the free throw line, 14 of 15, but they still trail by 9.
And the fans will not let the Kings die.
Christie really bellying up on Bryant. Gets inside, puts it in. Every time they need a big bucket.
You can't play a guy with the kind of mobility of Kobe Bryant that height, because the first step gets you by him, and then you're reacting. You got to give him a little room and then try to take him one way or the other.
He's got 26. Jackson turns it over but gets it back. Bibby to Weber. Hesitation. Weber gets inside, misses the follow. Both of them have it, and Weber finally puts it in.
Steve, I got to come back on you on that. I don't know how you play. Bibby steal.
Terrific play from Bibby. And a foul on Kobe Bryant before the shot. They're not in the penalty yet. Only the first foul on Kobe Bryant.
Steve, I got to come back on you on this. There is no way you can guard this guy. You're too close. This guy is the most skilled player in basketball, and he is torching whoever guards him. Whether it's the San Antonio Spurs, whether it's the Sacramento Kings, line him up.
Bibby, not a good shot. He rushed it. Coming up on the midway point of the fourth, and the Kings still down by 9.
They still have time. They need to have good defensive pressure here. Make this shot come up from the outside. Give the Lakers just one try. They've forgotten about Shaq right now.
They get it right back to Kobe Bryant.
That's got to be an offensive foul. He hit him with his elbow and forearm right in the face, and Doug Christie had him played perfectly.
Fourth foul on Christie. And for Sacramento, their 14th foul. Let's take a peek.
This is what happens when you play too close. You can't react to that. That elbow catches him, but he wasn't an intentional elbow. But when you're playing glove tight, you're going to get hit.
The crowd doesn't like it, but they're more upset with their team down by 9.
Grab us some drinks. I'll be out in a minute.
Dessert, Doctor?
For a refreshing alternative, go with Plan Z.
I hate it when he does that.
Sorry about the dust.
Come on, guys, let's go.
After the new roomy 7-passenger Chevy Trailblazer, everything else just seems kind of weak.
I left the bagels in the jet.
The new Chevy Trailblazer. Like a rock.
One can wish
wait up.
on a star. Two can make that wish
Tails.
come true.
You pump. Yes. You pump. You
One
pump.
can stand alone in the dark.
Aloha.
Two can make a light shine through. It takes two, baby. It takes two, baby. Me and you. It just takes two.
Listen up. Here's a new guy. His name is Lennox, and he can play. And he's going to make all you guys look better.
I hear practice is going rather well.
Yeah, new guy Lennox is working out.
Come on up, Jeff.
By the way, what'd he cost?
Peanuts.
Why would anybody that good play for peanuts?
Loves the game.
I'm the open man.
Tiger Woods, the most dominant force in golf. He's already won all 4 major championships in a row. Now he tries to pull off that amazing feat in the same calendar year. His next challenge, golf's greatest championship, the U.S. Open, starting Thursday, June 13th on NBC.
Bad things happen when you play the offensive player this tight. Now, Kobe Bryant is just going to spin and come across, and he catches the forehead of Doug Christie. Now, there's no contact for Doug Christie, and there shouldn't have been a call there.
Wait.
against Doug Christie, and I'm with this guy right here. I'll get a chin foul.
No contact, Steve. The elbow came through and caught him across the face with the nose. Look at his nose. It's red as can be. You're saying there's no contact, there's no foul?
If it was an exaggerated move, and those glasses are no good, they would have made that call.
But again, Sacramento has to play through any of the calls. Fisher, good defense from Bobby Jackson. Fisher able to knock it down.
Oh, the flop will kill you every time, and Jackson went for the flop, left Fisher wide open, and an easy deuce.
Don't lose your patience, your control, your composure here to Sacramento. You're up against it. You've got to get to 100 points, at least.
Weber again knocks it down. Now, look at Weber. He's doing some good things out there. 28 points, 14 boards, and 6 assists. It's not just stats, though, Bill. It can't be just stats. Those are pretty impressive numbers.
They played from behind the entire game, at home, with the best record in the league.
Christie trying to get very physical, and then Christie throws Robert Ory. And this is frustration a bit for Doug Christie as he picks up his 5th foul.
Hey, are you a French gun? Gotta be for grabs!
You'll see they go in there, and he ties him up. Now, he's holding Robert Ory, and then he just decides to try to chuck him to get back to the ball. Once he went by that screen, he should have released, and he didn't. He got caught.
Christie's had the best year of his career. He's a wonderful defender. But he's frustrated right now with what Kobe Bryant's been doing to him.
He's got 5 fouls and 5 team fouls. The Lakers are shooting free throws the rest of the time.
What would you do if somebody came up and smacked you in the face with an elbow and then they said it was your fault?
But you got to forget it and not let it affect you on the next play as the way this is the free throw. Of course, Game 2 will be coming up on Monday night on TNT. Coverage beginning 9:30 Eastern. As the Lakers and the Kings right back here at Arco Arena. Will the Lakers have a 1-0 lead? Or can the Kings come up with a superb comeback and try and take this opener? Or he goes 1 for 2.
Shaq has not scored here in the quarter. It's been mostly Kobe making plays. So they've done a good job of keeping him from throwing the ball to Shaq.
The Lakers have led the entire game by as many as 16. Bibby, the floater, blocked but a foul. Mike Bibby will shoot a couple. Rick Fox picking up his 4th.
I'd like to ask you, since you posed the question about Chris Webber's 28 points and whatever rebounds, yes, have you been impressed with Chris Webber's game in terms of leading the attack and coming out and showing a sign that Sacramento is going to win this game, win this series?
I think he's played very well, but he's made some mistakes, and as you mentioned, at critical times, especially that offensive foul.
The numbers are fine. And somebody looking at just numbers is going to say great. But what about leading your team to victory? What about giving Turkoglu confidence? What about setting up Doug Christie? What about giving these fans something to hang their hat on and say, we're going to get this done?
He still has 4:40 to try it. There's a steal. 3-on-1 for the Kings. On next speed, and Christie puts it in. 6-point game. And there you see the decibel meter here at Arco. Bryant can't connect. O'Neal taken away by Bobby Jackson, but he stepped out of bounds. This is the closest Sacramento has been since the first quarter.
They got the crowd back in it. This team that they have out there, Jackson, Christie, Bibby, very quick-handed and very aggressive. And Lakers want a timeout.
And a terrific timeout for Sacramento here because now the crowd can get into this game.
The forced turnover.
That was a bad pass from Shaq, which led to this bucket from Doug Christie. And they're on the roll.
They love their Kings here in Sacramento. And their team only down by 6.
So you sure this is okay? What if someone calls?
What if someone calls?
Sometimes
Sometimes you feel like being dependable. Sometimes you just want to go for a drive. Chevy Impala.
I'll be there. I'll be there.
Jerky. Use text messaging from your Verizon Wireless phone to play the Verizon Wireless NBA Trivia Challenge. Get in the game at NBA.com.
Can you hear me now? Good.
Verizon Wireless. We never stop working for you.
Grab us some drinks. I'll be out in a minute. I'm gonna need to know that you're in this for the long haul.
I believe in miracles.
Dinner is served.
For a refreshing alternative, go with Plan Z.
Use text messaging from your Verizon Wireless phone to play the Verizon Wireless NBA Trivia Challenge. Get in the game at NBA.com.
Can you hear me now? Good.
Verizon Wireless. We never stop working for you.
Oh, credit card bill. Those interest rates.
Just get a Capital One no hassle card. Lowest fixed rates you can get.
So who's getting rich off my credit card?
Someone living large off your interest payments? Get a Capital One no hassle card. It's got the nation's lowest long-term fixed rates and none of the hassle.
What's in your wallet?
Ahmad Bashad along with Tom Tolbert back in New York. Due to the length of tonight's game, Star Trek Insurrection will not be seen. But coming up immediately following the Kings and Lakers, the comedy Just Shoot Me, followed by the critically acclaimed Law and Order. Tomorrow, the NBA on NBC continues at 4:30 Eastern with a special one-hour pregame show preceding Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals between the Nets and the Celtics. I'll be at the NBA studios in Secaucus, New Jersey with Pat Croce for the NBA Draft Lottery, while Orlando Magic head coach Doc Rivers will join Hannah Storm and Tom right here in New York. But now, back to this game. Tom, your thoughts?
It's incredible. I mean, this game seems to have gotten away so many times it's hard to count. It's a 6-point game with a little over 4 to go. If I'm the Kings, I'm double-teaming Kobe. He's not hitting the shots to beat me. And on offense, I'm putting the ball in Mike Bibby's hands and Bobby Jackson's hands and letting them do what they can do.
Sacramento's showing no signs of that San Antonio flu.
No, they're coming back.
All right, now back to Mike, Bill, and Steve in Sacramento.
All right, Ahmad. Sacramento, a bad first quarter. They've been put themselves in a huge hole early. Now suddenly here in the fourth, making their first real run. Bobby Jackson part of this run, and maybe for the first time, Bobby Jackson enjoying being double-teamed.
Well, they're showing them a little love here, and they appreciate the effort as both of those ladies. Say, Bobby, keep it up.
It's good to be Kings. New 24 for the Lakers, 4:19 remaining. Pure ball deflected out of bounds, and it's still Laker ball.
I'm sure you're going to see the Lakers try to look for Shaq now. Jackson takes a timeout. Adelman is saying, what do we need to do to catch a break? Kings need to keep their composure.
23 on the shot clock. Foul trouble critical. Christie and Roddy each have 5. Weber has 4.
Bryant across the lane, way short, rebound, knocked loose. D-Box comes away with it. Bibby. And Jackson looking to do something with it before he caught it, and that is a costly turnover. Yikes. They're not going to get kisses after that.
These are the kinds of things that will kill the momentum. When Weber made that offensive foul and they were within 7, the Lakers drove back up to 13. So this is a critical stop right here for Jackson and the Kings.
You see all the turnovers for L.A. in this fourth period. O'Neal has not taken a shot yet in the quarter. Gets his own rebound and one. Shaquille O'Neal with the second effort. And it's back to an 8-point game.
Vlade relaxed. 3 things you have to try to eliminate.
It's on Weber, by the way, his 5th.
So 3 Kings now with 5. But when you land, Vlade just stops. Shaq keeps going. You have to eliminate Shaq's jump hook, eliminate his backdoor lobs, and his offensive rebounds. If you can do those somewhat efficiently, your chances of winning might go up.
Can't stop for 1 minute against the Lakers as O'Neal hits a free throw, and just like that, back to a 9-point game. You wonder, though, if there's a fatigue, when you have to come from behind all game long, it takes its toll.
These fans are not going to let their Kings get tired.
Bad pass from Weber, and a second costly turnover for the Sacramento Kings.
But what worse is the clock is ticking down, and you've got to get the Lakers to make a mistake for you. Now they're going to try to use time with each possession, knowing that they're going to go to the penalty on any kind of contact.
Bryant, that's a three. Won't go. Jackson the rebound. Coming up on 3 minutes remaining.
Kobe came to a dead stop that time. Didn't have any momentum with his legs to get the ball all the way there.
Kings don't have a good idea where they want to get a score.
Bibby.
That'll hurt you. When you don't know where you want to attack your opponent and you're just wishing and hoping, then everything has got to go right. That time, Bibby misses his shot.
Lakers at this time of the game always show such calmness, such poise.
If you're Los Angeles, go to the hoop. You got so many critical defenders for Sacramento in deep foul trouble.
Right inside, knocked away. Weber and Bibby got a hand on him. Here's Bobby Jackson. Reverse side, somehow spins it in.
What a tough shot, Jackson.
Well, he was looking just to go to the foul line on that one. The Lakers backed off at the last minute.
7-point game. The bench again has been clutch for the Kings. O'Neal very deep in the post. And a 3-second violation. That's the 7th fourth-quarter turnover for the LA Lakers. Make that their 8th.
Well, they get a break. They've been looking for one. Looked like they could have called a foul on Weber on the arm, and then Bobby Jackson, the degree of difficulty. 10.
11. Jackson goes at O'Neal and puts it in. 5-point game. 17 points for Bobby Jackson.
Shaq early in the shot clock here. Allow him to be a passer.
Fox looking for O'Neal. He's on Bibby. Big advantage there for the Lakers. Fisher for three.
Gotta have that rebound.
O'Neal takes it away. Lost it, and Robert Ory right there. And Rick Alleman wants timeout.
Gotta have that rebound, and they didn't get it. Made them shoot deep, shot cake, everybody in. Everybody here at Arco wants a call in favor of the Kings, and you'll see Weber saying, what's over the back?
You will never win the championship unless you're a great defensive rebounding team to where you control the tempo. The ball is up in the air. Shaq too tall, the timing too good. Throws two guys out of the way, and Ory's able to throw it down,
Weber arguing the call before the play had even ended.
Get me undercover, brother.
He's got a talent for disguise.
Nobody touches the pro.
But when a dangerous criminal threatens the world, he's the one to call.
Action is what Undercover Brother's all about.
This summer,
It's time to unleash our secret weapon.
Would you like to be my friend? He had sex with a white girl.
Was everything I dreamed of?
Excuse me.
Undercover Brother.
Drop it.
This woman just can't.
I meant the gun.
Rated PG-13 at theaters May 31st.
Whenever you call me, I'll be there. Whenever you want me, I'll be there. Whenever you need me, I'll be there. I'll be around.
Cars you can depend on. Cars that last. Chevy will be there.
Immerse yourself in the only internet destination vast enough, varied enough, vivid enough to let you explore all the worlds you live in. Lycos. Search on.
In New Jersey, he has taken the franchise on his back and carried it to victory. Jason Kidd has been the face of courage.
Jason Kidd, a sensational play.
Now with the Nets one step away, he hopes to take his team to a place they have never known, the NBA Finals. The Nets versus the Celtics. Tomorrow on NBC.
For 20 years, NBC Thursday has been must-see TV.
God help us!
This Monday, we're giving you all of it in one night.
Somebody pitch me.
Your favorite stars look back at 20 years of must-see TV.
I'm gonna blank in my shorts.
Monday, 9:30, 8:30 Central on NBC.
As the game rolls along and the bigger the situation, fatigue takes an effect, but Weber is late getting to the ball. Does a good job of getting inside position. He's too good at rebounding the ball. He let Shaq beat him to it, and out of the play, Robert Horry puts a cap on it.
And again, he turned to argue the call before Horry had the ball instead of hanging in on the play and maybe stopping Horry.
What about the job that Shaq did of keeping both hands high above his head and not giving the referee the option of calling an over-the-back foul?
Well, Sacramento still got a chance, but they got to get a score out of this possession. They got to know exactly where they want to go.
Christie blocked by Fox on the three-point attempt.
This is where the Laker defense is so good. They're so versatile, much like the Chicago Bulls teams under Phil Jackson. They can switch everything.
Bobby Jackson has been able to go through with penetration, get inside.
Jackson, nice move, but Devon's right there on the tip. Under a minute and a half remaining in a 5-point game.
Now here the Kings just keep them in front. Don't let them get to the free throw line on this possession. You know they're going to come to Shaq.
O'Neal a little further out than he's been starting. Christie all over Bryant. Shot clock winding down. Bryant fouled. Shot won't go, but he'll shoot two. They call it against Bobby Jackson, and that's his second.
Shaq's not getting the ball till 10 seconds are left in the shot clock. If they got it to him at 15, they could run more action and get some better looking shots than having to go one-on-one. Bobby Jackson just reaching in and grabbing a lot of arm right here. Easy play to call.
He's still got the shot off and almost made it. He's 2 of 3 from the line in this game. Huge free throws right now for Kobe Bryant.
He's not shooting free throws well in the playoff series. Didn't shoot them well against Portland. Carried on into San Antonio. That was a nervous attempt right there, but he gets it to go in. 70% for a guy who's shooting 83.
Concentration here knocks them both down, and a lead back up to 7. Final minute.
Now you got to come quick. They can't take a lot of time to get the score. And again, it's just a lot of confusion how they want to get it.
Bibby over O'Neal, who swats it. And here comes Fisher.
Well, the Kings stop playing. That's it.
Ball game.
That's the 4th block for Shaquille O'Neal. Another huge defensive play for the LA Lakers. Ball knocked away by Devon. Here comes Bibby. Jackson inside. It cuts to 5 with 26 seconds. They have to foul now.
If you're the Lakers, just keep moving the ball.
And they foul Derek Fisher.
The last play down, they tried to foul Shaq, and it turned into a turnover for him, and they ended up getting a layup. But, I mean, they were trying to give a foul and didn't get it that time. So Shaq is looking at the official and says, oh, well, what's up, you know?
This is Fisher's first free throw attempts of the game. He's shooting 86% from the line in the playoffs. With 23.9 seconds remaining, Lakers hit their free throws. This game's over. If they miss, the door is open. And that's 3 straight clutch free throws.
This guy's pretty good, Derek Fisher.
In that first quarter, when they got themselves in a hole, they've been climbing out ever since. And every time they've made a run, they've made a mistake at a critical time to give the Lakers enough breathing room to build it back up. Timeout, Adelman.
So Rick Adelman will call time with 22.3 remaining. It's not over yet. It's a 6-point game. Sacramento will have the ball when we return. They'll get the opportunity to put it in the front court, but still an uphill climb.
Wow. Oh, I gotta try this. Rich boy. I thought you'd done this before.
Help! Help! I'm being mugged!
Mr. Deeds. Rated PG-13. In theaters June 28.
At the Home Depot, we're driving down the cost of home improvement. With special buys like 1-gallon cans of Thompson's Water Seal for only $5.98 and 1 gallon of Roundup Weed Killer for only $8.77. Plus, right now, get no payments and no interest till January of 2003 on any Home Depot consumer credit card purchase of $299 or more. Just look for the hammer symbol. It means we've got lower prices. Nailed.
I helped murder families in Colombia.
It was just innocent fun.
I helped kidnap people's dads. Hey, some harmless fun.
I help kids learn how to kill.
I was just having some fun, you know.
I helped kill policemen.
I was just having fun.
I helped the bomber get a fake passport.
All the kids do it. I helped kill a judge. I helped blow up buildings. My life, my body. It's not like I was hurting anybody else.
Sacramento down by 6 with the ball, 22.3 remaining. They work hard all season long to get the home court advantage, but can lose it in 48 minutes here in game 1. They need threes right now, and they're only 1 of 6 from downtown. Of course, their best three-point shooter, Peja Stojakovic, out with an injury. The Lakers, meanwhile, looking for their 12th straight road playoff win. Bibby inside, some contact from O'Neal, and that should do it. They foul Fisher, and it's just a matter of shooting free throws to play out the string here.
Shaq's defense, superb. Bibby down the lane to throw one up over the top of him, and Shaq backed off at the right time and still got the ball at the other side of the rim. That is real talent.
Christie fouls out.
Bibby's going to come down the lane, and he's open, and he's thinking he's going to get the foul, so he just is taking the contact and throwing it up and knowing he's going to go to the free throw line. The discussion between O'Neal and Bibby, and Shaq is telling him, look, I just got fouled the other end. This is even up. I earned that. 10 years, I earned that.
But Shaq, like all the great centers, realize that the guys who are attacking the rim, they've got to bring the ball to you, and you don't have to block every shot. You have to force them to take a tough shot, force them to make it. They'll bring the ball into your wheelhouse for the block, then get ready to get it up off the glass.
Fisher 1 of 2. Final seconds. They still have a 20-second timeout. Bobby Jackson gets inside. Quick bucket. 5-point game. They look to foul, and will foul Kobe Bryant with 4.9 remaining. And that will pretty much do it.
Jackson has been sensational, and his foot speed, quickness, his ability to break down the Laker defense, that may give the Kings something to build on in game 2. But I mean, this came down to, you know, Sacramento needed to have this first game to get into the series. Monday night, it's a must-win game for them.
For the 3rd straight series now, they've lost home court advantage. Against Utah, they lost game 2 at home. Against Dallas, they lost game 2 at home.
But you were talking about Phil Jackson when you said he was brilliant today, because he indeed was. The way they came out so sharp, executed magnificently. The Lakers got the home crowd out of it. This crowd is so important to the Kings' success. They never were a factor because of Phil Jackson's preparation.
Divac throws it out of bounds. Don't forget, though, Sacramento is a different road team than they've been in the past. And they won some big road games in this postseason, 2 in Utah and 2 in Dallas. But let's face it, this is a different brand of opponent.
Well, you know, when you talk about road team, home team, when you know the Lakers know that they can come into your building and get a win, you know you have to have that game. You've got to put them back on their heels. You got to try to send them some message to say it's not going to happen. 4.9 seconds left.
And the Kings will let the clock wind down. A wire-to-wire victory for the LA Lakers. And they take game 1 in impressive fashion. Chris Webber and the Kings made a run in the 4th quarter, cut it to 5. Well, that's the closest they could get. And right now, let's send it over to Lewis Johnson.
All right, thanks a lot, Mike. Shaq, 12 consecutive road playoff wins for you guys. What is it about this team and playing playoff games on the road?
We failed so many times in my 9 years here. Once we start doing well, we actually know what it takes to win. We know what it takes to win in a hostile environment. And we do better when it's us against the world anyway.
How did you do today with the ankles that you're dealing with and, of course, the finger that's getting better? How are you physically?
If I do play better, I will never blame it on my injuries. Father always told me just go out and play hard and, pace myself, try to dominate, and not try to do too much. So,
Shaq, there was so much talk about the home court advantage when this series started. In your own words now, where is the psychology with home court?
We just want to win 4 games, and we know that we're a pretty good road team, and we wanted to come and get 1 or 2 here. So, we know we're going to have a tough game Monday, so we just have to be ready. And if we do the same things, then we'll be fine.
And the adjustments for that game, too, on Monday?
We just have to, inside out, take smart shots, and I'm going to keep looking for my guys.
Okay, thanks a lot. Congratulations on that win. Mike, back to you.
All right, thank you, Lewis. 26 points for Shaquille O'Neal and 30 for Kobe Bryant. But you look at it, the contributions from a Robert Orr, from a Derek Fisher, and from a Rick Fox really made a huge difference in this game, Bill.
But what Sacramento has to do now is find their confidence, find a game. They had spurts here. Now they have to go in and look at themselves and say, look, we've given this one away. We can come back and still get this going only, though, if we play enough offense, and they didn't get that done, Steve.
Well, their whole idea was to attack, to be aggressive, to move the ball from side to side, and they didn't accomplish that. But they've got to know that they've got to hold court on Monday. They don't want to go to L.A. down 2-0 and think they're going to get 2 wins like they did in Utah, like they did in Dallas. The Lakers are too good for that. So they have got to have a win on Monday.
And you have to play with the lead from the beginning to let this crowd become part of the game.
And also, you look at Peja Stojakovic. Obviously, he's such a huge part of what they do. So Rick Adelman told us yesterday, we need 6 players to play well. They can't have Hedo Turkoglu go scoreless. He was 0 for 8 from the field.
He didn't do anything, but you can't look at injuries as an excuse. You have to go with what you have. And the biggest thing, Sacramento should not try to rush Peja Stojakovic back. If he's not ready to go 100%, this is about the World Championship. This is men playing for the ultimate prize.
So again, Sacramento jumped out, or LA jumped out very early, went up by as many as 16. Kings made a couple of runs, but never enough. As Shaquille O'Neal and the Laker defense was excellent, and they take game 1. Once again, our final score, the Lakers 106. The Sacramento Kings 99. NBA playoffs on NBC continue tomorrow at 4:30 Eastern with a 1-hour pregame show. That'll be followed by game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals between the Celtics and the New Jersey Nets. Coming up next, except on the West Coast, Just Shoot Me, followed by Law & Order and blockbuster Star Trek Insurrection. For Bill Walton, Steve Jones, Lewis Johnson, and our entire crew, this is Mike Breen. You're watching the NBA playoffs on NBC.
Tomorrow at 4:30 Eastern, Jason Kidd and the Nets make their first ever trip to the conference finals. In their path, Paul Pierce, Antoine Walker, and the resurgent Celtics. Back in the conference finals for the first time in 14 years. Their battle begins tomorrow. Plus the NBA Draft Lottery at halftime. Tomorrow, 4:30 Eastern, NBC.